YouTube? I'm back here and I'm streaming and I'm live streaming and I'm streaming and I'm reacting. Okay. I hope that intro is okay. I've been practicing. Okay. The audio stream's current bitrate 0 is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend you use an audio stream bitrate of 128 kbps. Look, I wish I could tell you that I knew what that means, but I actually do not. So, what I'm gonna do, obviously, is watch my own stream. Okay, and it's literally perfectly fine. Like, no issue whatsoever. Like, I'm literally just watching. That's annoying. See, I don't like when OBS just does that. You feel me? Okay, sorry. Okay. Let's see. I'm here to do a reaction. I know, right? Crazy content idea that no one's ever done before. No, I'm reacting to this video for a specific reason. It's the ultimate. Hold on. Okay, I'm reacting to this video for a specific reason. Hello. Let me just close out of some of these. I don't really need any of these. I'm reacting to this one for a specific reason. Okay, first things first. I got permission to react to this. Don't be that guy who just doesn't do that. I mean, look at this. I don't think it really would have mattered. It's a lot more than I could ever get. But still, I just wanted to ask just to make sure it was okay, because I feel like it's kind of just common courtesy. But anyways. Okay, sorry. I don't want any spoilers. I'm reacting to this for a video Jesus Christ. I'm reacting to this for a reason. I like this. I was in this video. This is my comment. This is my comment. This is his comment. See, okay, I don't know why it does this. It doesn't do this like on my phone, but it has every reply like twice for whatever reason. I don't know why it does this. Like, it doesn't do it here. Let's see one that doesn't have a lot of replies. Okay. Are there any that just have one reply? See, okay, it doesn't do it with that one. But, like, okay, it says one reply. There's one reply. All right. I've liked both of them. If you go on your phone and you look at this, it's just one comment. Sorry. This doesn't matter, but yeah. I don't really know what part of the video I'm in. But yeah. I saw it. Okay. We're gonna have to wait an hour and 45 minutes. But that's okay. It was a 3-hour video. I was kind of expecting to be here a while anyways. Okay. I'm trying to think, because whenever I stream, I don't really think at all about what I say. It's not very structured, the way I talk. So Okay. I'm I'm just here to watch, enjoy the video, have a good time. It is a guide video, so I was thinking about maybe hopping on some Frick Bears after or during, I don't know, because I've played the first couple nights. It's a fun game, but it actually is kind of challenging. Um, and the modes are ranked super high. That's the wrong list. This is top 10. I don't know where it stands on the AML. Lost and Found Night is 43. We're gonna be scrolling for a while. Okay. Oh wait, is it that? Okay, it's not. Uh, where's Rainbow Overload ranked? Infernal 47. No Death Coin. The Reloaded 40. Okay, there's Rainbow Overload. So shouldn't be too far down. There's Riberon's finale, so it should be pretty close up here. There's Eternal Wrath. Actually, I don't think Eternal Wrath is on. Wait, but there's My Doom X. Oh wait, Eternal Wrath is ranked. Happiest Memory. It's so okay. It's in between. I didn't realize this was ranked. I guess it's somewhere. Um, what the hell was that Piss Max mode? Sorry, I think I might have missed that one. For bronze, Eternal. I could just search for it. Wait. Okay. First, I just want to see what you're talking about. Um, okay. I don't know which. I feel like Electric Piss would be harder. Okay. Okay. I actually do remember seeing this. There's one completion. It's 2 seconds long. Wow. Okay. Um. Okay. What? What a crazy concept. Uh. It's just not ranked. Frick 40. That's not even the hardest one. Wait. Can you do this for a video? Absolutely not. No Death Coin. 210. I don't know if Infernal 40 is harder. Or Infernal 47, I guess. Okay, 142. And that was here. It was here. So if we're going off of that, it's top 150 on the AML, which is pretty impressive. So, not something I could reasonably do, but I still want to watch the guide. I still want to play some Five Nights at FRICKBEARS 3, maybe. So yeah. I should probably talk about the whole voice acting thing because that would be cool. Uh, so he sent out a message in his Discord server and he was like, "Hey, I'm looking for voice actors." So I DM'd him. I sent him a little like audition because he had sent the info, and to my surprise, he messaged me back and he was like, "Hey, you got it," and I was like, "Wow, cool." and I haven't said anything because I didn't want to talk about it until the video came out. But it's been it's been first of all a little funny watching everyone in his streams and community posts theorize about the next video. Everyone thought it was gonna be perfect cacophony, but I knew, and I wouldn't say it was hard not to say anything, but it definitely made me feel however you would word that. Um, so yeah, there's that, but it was like actually pretty cool. Like, cause I have watched this dude for ages. It says I've already watched this video, but that's just because I've clicked on it. And it says I haven't watched a lot of these videos. I've watched this one, I've watched this one. Um, let's see. If we go from here, I've watched all of them until, like... I've watched this one, I've watched this one. I watched that one. It's just some of his older ones I haven't really watched. But, like, a lot of these newer ones, I watched that one. Even his, like, ultimate guide, this one was a good video. It wasn't even, like, a my quest to beat this mode. It was just a guide. And, like, he beat the mode. But still, like, it's just cool. It's entertaining stuff. And so to be able to be a part of this, also, like, I just peeped that. Like, it's kind of surreal thinking about it. But it's cool to just have that opportunity to be part of something um for somebody that I have watched for, let's see, when did I start watching? I think ignore that. I think when I started watching this was the most recent video. But yeah, it was just really cool to be able to have that opportunity compared to this. Like it's not like nothing, but the comparison is obviously there. So it was just cool. It was cool to be able to see it. Okay, I can't take that anymore. I'm gonna be right back, and I want to turn the volume down of this stupid thing. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I think enough of my talking. This is kind of angled weird. Okay, I think we should just watch the video because I've been talking for probably like 15 minutes at this point. So let's.
Sick, dude. This is actually like such a good game. What the hell? This game is sick, man. This game is so good, by the way. Like, I don't know if you guys, like, I don't know if you guys understand just how good this game is.
It's a pretty cool game. It's a cool. I again, I've only played like the first two nights, but it is a pretty cool game. It is. Um. The concept of it is cool because you can like buy stuff and there's mini games that give you the coins to buy said stuff, and I can just let him explain it. I don't know why I'm rambling on about this. Also, one more thing. I don't have like voice acting experience. I've like auditioned for stuff because it's cool, but like this is like my first thing, and so that's cool. And it's kind of given me motivation to try to do more things. But yeah.
Bro, this game is fucking amazing.
Also, this video is linked in the description if you want to watch it for yourself. I highly recommend go support it, go like it, go comment, go everything. I'll shut up now. Not really, because I'm supposed to be reacting to it.
Welcome to the Ultimate Five Nights at Frickbear's 3 guide.
Thank you.
In this video, I'm gonna break down absolutely everything
3 hours long.
How each of the animatronics work, how to get all the endings, all trophies, and even how to play Minesweeper. Now, there are 47 characters in this game, And the gameplay loop isn't
That's
just the survival till 6
insane.
a.m. we've all been used to.
47 characters is whack. I can see why it's so high with the gameplay of this game.
So this video is gonna be a long one. I recommend you grab a drink, grab some snacks, and get ready.
I actually
because it's gonna be a wild.
do have like I like Starburst. I'm actually gonna take you up on that offer. Hold on. Wait, I'm gonna change this really quick because I'll be right back. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. I just grabbed a snack. I mean that's what he said to do. We are going to be here for a while, so might as well.
Ride.
They're launching fireworks outside. Just gonna assume they're celebrating me. Thanks, dog. They're still launching fireworks. It's been an entire 7 days since the big 4th of July. Can I have some? I mean, I can like just save some and like mail it to you. I guess that could work.
If you haven't played this game yet and you're watching this video,
Wait, I didn't think this through. I don't want people to like watch me eat. I feel like that's weird. Wait, hold on. Let's just test it. I'm gonna watch myself eat and then see if it is weird. Okay. I think I was overhyping that. It was kind of nothing.
please go play it for yourself first. Sure, knowing everything before going in will make your life easier, but you should really go in blind for your first playthrough. Like you saw in the beginning, those were my genuine reactions as I played for the first time. This is honestly one of the best.
I have not finished this video game. But it's okay. I'm just impatient and I want to see myself.
FNAF fan
Hear myself.
games ever made, so make sure to enjoy it to the fullest. But anyway, without
Most
further ado,
normal thing
let's
someone
begin.
can do. Yeah, I know, but I just like I don't know. I feel like it's like you have the video playing and then there's just some guy up in the corner eating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When you first boot up the game, you're met with, you guessed it, the menu screen.
That's
You really
crazy.
don't have much to do here at first. You can mess with the settings to adjust game volume, window size, and there's even a jump scare toggle for the faint of heart.
Oh, I didn't know that. That would have been so helpful. Any game that has a jump scare toggle, I just turn it off. I'm a wimp, bro. Jump scares, if they're like good, they just always get me. It's always the sound. The sound is always what does it. Like I'm fine with the jump scare itself, but I have to turn off the sound, and it just like always startles me.
But aside from that, the only thing you can really do is hit new game.
The stream is gonna be
Here, the game gives
5
you
hours
3
long if I
difficulty
keep
options.
stopping and
Easy,
starting.
where you play as Jeremy, normal, where you play as Mike Schmid, and hard,
Right.
where you play as Vanessa. Yeah, she
Stream's
got me
gonna
on
be-
hard mode, if you know what I'm saying.
Bro, talking like a Danganronpa character. I mean, to be fair. Okay, it's really low quality, but you can all see who this is. Dude, talking like genocide Jill. I can't play jump scare games. I always feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack. Honestly, same. Maybe I should play like a Jill. Well, I played Five Nights at Freddy's 4 on stream. That was too much. It was too much. I just heard fireworks too.
Anyway, each difficulty basically adjusts the animatronics AI levels throughout the nights. Something worth noting here is that no matter which difficulty you pick, you can still achieve all the endings. So there's no need to go tryhard mode just to 100% the game. Well, if we don't count the achievements, that is. But I'll get to that at a later point of the video.
I feel like achievements
Seriously,
are
the game,
part of
immediately thrown into the
100
first night.
percenting a game.
Any FNAF game,
Like,
this is where
you can't say you've gotten 100% of a game if you don't have all the achievements.
you familiarize yourself with how the game works.
I mean, a lot of time saying that you have a game 100%, it just means getting all the achievements, depending on the game.
And there's a lot to get used to.
Like
First things
platinuming a
first,
game
Let's talk about
on
office
PlayStation.
settings. In the office, you have a window.
Let me know if the video is too quiet. I low-key don't know.
2 doors.
I didn't
2
think
side
about that
vents,
when I
and
was
a
setting
fan.
this up.
You can pan the camera by hovering the cursor towards which side you want to look at. There's even a TV you can watch if you're really bored. You can close the
You can actually turn it on. I'm learning all sorts of things about this game. So maybe it's actually a good thing that I'm watching this first, because
left and right doors by pressing A and D on your keyboard respectively, and to turn the fan off and on, you gotta press X. You're also given a Freddy mask and a flashlight. To put on the mask, you gotta hit the W key, and to
why is
shine the light,
spacebar so loud? I don't think it's really a matter of it being loud. I just kind of spam it, like, not spam it, but I hit it kind of hard when I press it, like. That's how you. I guess it is kind of loud. I don't know. I don't know why it's so loud. It just does that.
the Z key. It's worth noting that you can change these and many more keybinds in the menu if you're not comfortable with them. Okay, now let's get to the overwhelming section, the cameras. I know there's a lot going on, but let's focus on one thing at a time. There are 4 tabs you can go into: the camera system, the vent system, the shop, and the minigames. The camera system is where, well, you see the cameras. There are 8 cams in total, and the ones next to the office are cams 4 and 5. The next tab is the vent system. It's composed of a 3x5 grid, and the 2 entrances are on these squares. You can keep animatronics away by clicking on one of the squares, which will place a lure. You also have a heater button that serves as a panic button in case one of the animatronics are about to get in. Keep in mind that some animatronics won't be stopped by the lure and will show up in the vent entrances, to which you respond by putting on the mask. This tab might seem very confusing, especially when there's the ton.
Why didn't it say that? Oh my gosh. Man, BB was annoying. He's the reason I didn't just complete the game. I didn't know he just ignored the lure.
Ton of animatronics to deal with, but most of them can be dealt with by simply letting them in the office and putting on the mask.
I also didn't realize that vent was there.
Third tab is the shop. This is one of the most crucial tabs in the game. The shop contains 12 different items you can purchase, which will give you some sort of power up for the night. The first item is the Mimic Ball, that, like in FNAF World, will mimic your last purchased item, though it is a bit more expensive to do so, 50% more expensive that is. This item is absolutely overpowered, and you'll see why very soon. The second item is the King's Prize. This one is like the Mario Kart item box. When you buy it, you have a random chance to have one of these things happen. Get 1, 5, 10, 15, 25, or 50 tokens, get plus 10%, 25% for fully restore power, summon a random character into the night, remove a random character from the night, get one of these items completely for free, get nothing, and even win Funtime Chica. Bad luck. I don't feel so unlucky right now. Oh shit! The next item is the rewind clock.
Was not expecting. Is she just like an insta kill? I don't know. That's why I'm watching the guide.
Rewind the night 1 hour. Yeah, I know. It's as stupid as it sounds. Though it's actually pretty useful for an achievement, which I'll talk about later. The fourth item is the battery pack. When bought, it gives you 10% power. This item is just good. There's not that much to say about it.
I remember
You
using
get 3
that
of these,
one.
so you can recharge a total of 30% power for just 30 tokens. Sounds like a good investment to me.
Because the power in this game goes
The
down
fifth item is
fast.
the snow cone. Yes, that boss from FNAF World. If you've played the game, you know. Hey, we're gaming. Snowball. What is that damage? Bro! Again? Chill! This one makes it
I've
so
never
the office
played
is
FNAF
always at the
World.
lowest temperature for an entire hour. This item is especially nice if you need to use the heater in the vent system, since with this on, pushing animatronics back costs literally nothing. It's also good for just saving power overall, because turning on the fan adds 1 notch of power usage. The 6th item is literally what buying Bitcoin in 2009 feels like. The golden cupcake can be purchased for 15 tokens, and you can then resell it to get those tokens back. However, every 10 seconds, the value of this item goes up by 1. This means that after 2.5 minutes, you're reselling the golden cupcake for double its original price. So I highly recommend buying this as soon as possible so you can get the best value out of it later on.
That's actually really
The next
nice.
2 items are the AR mask and the laser doors. I'm bundling these 2 together because the mechanic is the same. The AR mask basically acts as if you have the mask on for an hour. The laser doors, you guessed it, closes both doors for an hour too. I know it seems like I'm rushing these, but they're genuinely S tier items. Actually, that gives me an idea. I'll make a tier list on all the items when I finish explaining them in the last tab. The 9th item is the bear
Right.
trap.
That stocks in this game. It's a smart game mechanic. Because it's like, do I spend these now just to possibly die before I even have the chance to use them? You know, like that sort of thing.
It blocks
Because if you survive long enough, it's like a good investment. But like on the harder nights, I assume it's probably a difficult one too.
the next animatronic that tries to jump scare you, essentially giving you a second chance. The 10th item is the death coin. If you're familiar with Ultimate Custom Night, it's the exact same mechanic. You can choose one character to completely remove them from the night, and this could be literally anybody. There are no restrictions unlike UCN. The second to last item is probably the most goated of all, the distortion clock. Remember how the rewind clock rewinds an hour? Yeah, this one's the opposite, advancing the night 1 hour instead. At first this item sounds nice, but nothing crazy, until you realize you get 2 of these per night. And to answer your question early, yes, the mimic ball can mimic the distortion clock, meaning that you can straight up skip 3 hours of the night. Insane, right? And finally, the last item in the shop,
That's
the
crazy.
jar of pickles. It costs a measly 300 tokens, and you get
Nothing.
+1 happiness.
What does that do?
What? You wanted something more? Jokes aside, this item is kind of a meme. However, if you do manage to buy it, you unlock the first of 47 total trophies in the game, the True Happiness Trophy. Yeah,
Well-
this game has a lot of achievements, so the ones you accidentally stumble upon, I'll make sure to mention. Now, all these items are cool and all, but you start the night with 0 tokens. So how do you earn them? Well, that's when the last tab comes in, the Games tab. You get
Oh my
1
god, there's
token
so
by-
many.
Well, that's when the last tab comes in, the Games.
I only had Air Sweeper, Air Adventure, and Fred Sweeper. I guess you just unlock more as the game
You
goes
get
on.
1 token by closing off an animatronic or successfully tricking someone with a mask, but the fastest way to get tokens is by playing minigames. At first, you only have Fred Sweeper and Air Adventure unlocked.
Okay, well that would
Fred Sweeper
explain it.
is, as you could probably guess, Minesweeper, but it's Freddy. It's an 8x10 field, and to begin playing, click any of the 80 squares. At the top, it shows the amount of tiles that arm bombs. If you've never played Minesweeper before, the basic idea of the game is to reveal all the squares without clicking on a tile containing a bomb. However, doing that isn't so simple, so I'm gonna ask for the help of myself to explain it.
Hello, Luffuu. Crazy collab.
What's up,
Luffuu
everybody?
x Luffuu.
This is live Luffuu here. Long time no see. I think last time was during
I know how to play Minesweeper. 23.
the
He spends
CCR.
a hefty 15 minutes talking about how to play Minesweeper. That's crazy. I mean, I know how to play Minesweeper, but is it like that different from Sweeper? I guess, does anyone care if I skip this? Because this video is low-key 3 hours long. Plus, I feel like it makes sense because then you have a reason to go back and watch the original video. So I'm actually going to do that. So, basic idea of Minesweeper, he can go more into depth, but you click it and then it'll have a number, and then whatever number is next to the square is how many bombs are next to it. That's the idea. So
With space, but to get your bearings back when you start playing again, it's rough. That sums up all the items and minigames, so now let's make a shop tier list. I'll separate this in 4 tiers. The God
also the other one, the Balloon Boy one that he just showed, is Flappy Bird
tier, which are the items you'll be buying every night. The good tier, where the items that are always nice to purchase will go. The mad tier, which are the items that could have a purpose but are mostly going to be ignored. And the pickles tier. I mean, it's pickles. There's not much else to say. So let's go from the bottom up.
I like
In the
that
mad
Pickles
tier,
is already
I'd put
there.
the King's Fries and the Rewind Clock. The King's Fries obviously could give you some really nice rewards, but it's quite literally...
Let's go gambling!
It's gonna be Pickles.
Dang it.
A fun fact actually is that if you get
Guess
Thunder and
not.
Chica, you can actually prevent yourself from getting jump scared if you def coin her really quickly. And this is actually our second trophy of this video. The
Think fast, Chuckle Nuts!
Wait.
achievement.
I feel like that's in a... Wait. I swear that's in a max mode. It is. Thunder's Frenzy. I've never played it on this channel. But I've done like one challenge on my own. Pretty fun game.
Anyway,
But they use that as
the
a
Rewind
voice
Clock
line.
is also in this tier because it's mostly bad. Unless you're
Oh.
trying to go for a specific achievement in the game, where you gotta sell a golden cupcake for at least 40 more tokens than the amount you bought it for. The cupcake costs 15 tokens, so you need to resell it for 55
What, Chuckle Nuts? Think fast.
tokens before the night ends. Since every 10 seconds the cupcake's value goes up by 1, that means it'll take 400 seconds, or 6 minutes and 40 seconds, for it to get to 55. So you're gonna have to buy at least one of these if you want to unlock this achievement. Aside from that though, it's mid. In the good tier is where the battery pack, snow cone, golden cupcake, and bear trap are placed. I'm not even gonna explain these one by one because there's not much to be said. Like the tier name says, they're simply good items you can always buy if you have tokens to spare. The golden cupcake is borderline god tier though, since there's almost no reason you shouldn't buy these as soon as you complete your first Fred Sweeper. But the reason why I'm placing it here is because if you end up forgetting them, it doesn't really matter that much. If you want to get filthy rich, however, then they are pretty much essential. And finally, in the god tier, we have the 4 remaining items: AR Mask, Laser Doors, Distortion Clock, and Mimic Ball.
Death Coin, but it goes here too.
It's safe to say these items you'll be buying literally every night. Don't feel like dealing with any animatronics or you need a breather to play Fred Sweeper? Just buy the mask and the laser doors and you don't have to do anything. Are you sick of sitting in that creaky office chair playing Fred Sweeper all night? Don't worry, just skip literally half of the night by buying 2 distortion clocks and mimicking the 3rd. These items are absolutely insane and are definitely the ones I use the most. And that concludes the basics of the game. I know it's a lot to take in, but with enough time in the game, it'll become second nature.
I want to know how to get the other minigame.
Night 1 features 5 animatronics: Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and the puppet. Freddy starts at the main stage in Camp 1 and will work his way towards either one of the hallways. Every time he moves around, he makes a laughing noise, like FNAF 1. You can also visually see him in the cameras to keep better track. Once Freddy reaches one of the hallways, his next laugh will mean he's outside of the door. When this happens, you must shut that door until you hear a bonk sound,
I think
resetting him back to the stage.
His last laugh is also a
Thankfully,
little
you don't
long.
need to keep track of
Not
how many
longer,
laughs Freddy's
louder.
made. The danger laugh, which is when he's about to jump scare you, is significantly louder than the rest. And it also
He's the expert on this. I don't know why I'm bothering to talk about it. I've played 2 nights of this
towards the
game.
side he's coming from. So once you hear that, you can close the corresponding door. Bonnie and Chica are pretty much one-to-one copies of their FNAF 1 counterparts. They both start in the main stage with Freddy and will move down to one of the hallways. Bonnie taking the left side and Chica taking the right.
Chica got
Once
the
either of them reach the
craziest
door,
glow
their
down.
eyes will appear in the office and a ramping sound effect is played. When this happens, you have a small amount of time to react and close the corresponding door. Foxy, like Bonnie and Chica, is also very similar to the FNAF 1 version. He begins in Cam 3 inside Pirate's Cove, and will slowly make his way out. You can slow down his progress by watching this camera. Once he's out, he'll run from the left hallway towards the office, and your goal is to shut the door before getting jump scared. Once Foxy hits the door, you'll take 1% power, and subsequent attacks will take more and more up to 5%. Lastly, the puppet. She can be found in Cam 6, and like FNAF 2, you have a music box that slowly winds down. When the box is running low, a warning symbol will appear on the bottom of the screen and on the Cam 6 button. If the box winds down fully, you get jump scared. To prevent this from happening, all you have to do is hit the reset music button above the camera. It's actually that simple. You don't have to hold the button or anything, just boop, there you go. Those are the characters coming after you on this night.
That's nice.
No matter which night guard you chose here, this night is still really easy. You barely get attacked by anyone, and all you're really doing is just listening to phone guy yapping for a long ass time. So the best strategy here is to mute call. Nah, I'm kidding. So the best strategy here is to just spam Fred Sweeper and farm as many tokens as you can. But wait, don't spend it on skipping the night. When you complete your shift, you actually get a performance bonus depending on how many tokens you had left and how much power remaining before 6 AM. Every 10 tokens or 10% power give you $1 extra you get to spend on the next section, the post-night segment.
I see.
Yup, this game isn't just 5 nights stuck in an office playing Minesweeper. Every night, you're thrown into a 2D, 3D world where you can interact with the animatronics, some objects, etc. It's very similar to something like Danganronpa when you're
Oh, it's the video game I've been playing on this YouTube channel.
allowed to walk around the place. During this section, your goal is to salvage animatronics and reach the quota.
That's crazy.
Which quota? The quota that this little dude gave us. And
It's me. That's the dude.
this location, there are 7 animatronics you can salvage and bring to the next nights. Wither Freddy, Wither Chica, Wither Bonnie, Wither Foxy, Endo, Golden Freddy, and Springtrap. Depending on which night guard you chose, the amount of animatronics you gotta
Geek
salvage
mention.
varies.
Hell yeah.
As Jeremy, the quota is only 1 animatronic. As Mike, it's 2. And as Vanessa, 3. Let's begin with the easiest and end with the hardest animatronic.
Geometry dash
Golden
icon.
Freddy has a chance to appear in the office every time you flip down the camera. When there, you have to quickly put on the mask before getting jump scared. Wither Chica begins in the vent system and will move towards one of the 2 vent entrances. You can use the audio alert to slow her down, but eventually she'll reach the office. Once there, she'll make a sound cue, meaning you should put on the mask.
Does somebody need a hug?
I'm good.
Not what they used to be. Does somebody need a hug? In the wind.
Wither Bonnie is the same as in FNAF
Song
2.
goes hard.
When he appears in the office, quickly put the mask on or else you get jump scared. That's literally it. Also, he speaks Spanish, I guess? Wither Foxy will appear outside the
Wow.
front window. Once he shows up, you gotta
I
shine your light on him until he leaves.
Already knew that.
Make sure to
because of
hold the button though,
part I
because
played.
unlike his FNAF 2
Where my
counterpart,
hug at?
spinning the light is way less effective. Springtrap begins in the parts and service room, initially deactivated. When he disappears from that camera,
Wait, me if I was in FRICKBEARS 3. Gotta get the clip somehow, I guess.
You'll begin moving towards your office. All you have to do to keep him at bay is shine your light at him. This will push him back one camera until he goes back to parts and service. It's worth noting that when Springtrap moves, the sound cue is played. If Springtrap
Widest
manages to reach
sound
cam
cue
4,
ever.
You have one last chance to push him away before getting jump scared. Now, I do want to go over this character in more depth because he has some interesting hidden mechanics. The first one is that Springtrap can
I'm gonna
actually
turn up
be
the
cam
video.
stalled.
Well,
While
actually,
you're
I think it's
actively
good.
watching his cam, his movement timer is paused until he switch tabs or switch to a different camera. This even works when he's in cam 8, but it's kind of weird. The first time he's in cam 8, you can't stall him, but after pushing him back, now you're able to cam stall in cam 8. Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't know why they made it that way. The second mechanic is that once he moves from cam 4, if your left door is closed, he won't jump scare you until that door is opened. Now, you can't push him back and you'll stay
I'm
there forever.
unsubscribing.
But if you need to buy a little bit
Wait!
of time in the night,
Wait!
this mechanic
Don't
may
go.
save your life. Endo, like Wither Foxy,
Pretty
also appears
please.
outside the window.
I need the
However,
subscribers.
he's the complete opposite of that character. If you shine the light on when he's there, he will jump scare you. The reason
Aw.
why I'm mentioning him second to last is because it's not just shining the light at him. It's literally shining the light at all. Whether you're in the office, in cams, doesn't matter. He will end your run. On his own, he isn't a threat, but I've only mentioned 11 out of 47 characters so far, and 2 of them require the use of the flashlight. Eventually, he'll become way more of an issue. Now for the hardest character
That's
from
crazy.
Location 1, Wither Freddy.
Oh, my bones. I can live with
I forgot.
it wasn't meant.
Bro, this guy sucks. I actually hate him.
It always ends the same.
I just pressed the fucking button too. Oh my god, dude. This character is so ass. Like, genuinely, like... No, I forgot again!
Party.
Oh my fucking god. Why? Like, why is this character just permanently going left and right?
This was me yesterday.
This fucking loser, bro. He begins outside your window as soon as you begin the night, and will keep walking across either side of the office. When Wither Freddy gets out of your view, you must shut the door corresponding to the side he left at. This doesn't sound so bad at first, but trust me, this is one of the most annoying characters in this game. Unlike most animatronics, he is a constant threat. When you close him off on one side, he'll immediately start moving towards the other side. But the biggest issue is that in this game, you're spending most of your time in cams. So the only way to know when he's about to attack is by listening to his footsteps. When the footsteps stop, you shut the door. But man, is it so annoying to keep track of, especially when you have a bunch of other animatronics to worry about. If you still don't believe me when I say this guy freaking sucks, there should be more than enough proof.
Literally won 100 more deaths than the second place. That's
That wraps
crazy.
up all the animatronics from Location 1. Going back to the pizzeria itself, there's one more core mechanic I gotta go over: upgrades. In this and all the other locations, you'll encounter upgrade cadets.
Come get your upgrades here.
Here you can buy permanent upgrades to help you beat the main knights. This is also where all the money you've been gathering comes into play. Other than the performance bonus, salvaging animatronics also gives you money and you get to spend it right here with upgrade cadets. There are 42 upgrades you can purchase across the entire game. And the Epstein files.
What? There's
You can purchase across
no
the entire
way.
game. And the Epstein files.
What did that
42
text box
upgrades you can
say?
purchase across the entire game. And the Epstein. To play. Other than the performance bonus, there are 42 upgrades you can purchase across the entire game. And
Purchasing this item may lead you down a dangerous path. I see. This game looks visually cool. I love the art style. I know it's sick. I plan on at least streaming a little bit of it. I don't know if I would make a full video. Maybe. I don't know. Only $80. I know you'd think something like that would be a lot harder to get your hands on. That caught me off
The
guard.
Epstein files. Nah, I'm kidding. These are the Talbert's files.
Oh.
But
If only I had just watched a little bit ahead.
it leads to an ending, which I'll go over later.
I mean, I shouldn't have believed that.
Before I explain these upgrades, I just want to make clear that the base level of all the upgrades are available at any point in the game, though higher tiers of an upgrade require you to purchase the previous tier before being able to obtain them. Let's begin with early investment. This upgrade gives you 5 extra tokens at the start of the night, 10 at level 2 and 30 at level 3. Once you buy level 3, you can upgrade it to Tasty Investment, which replaces the previous tier and gives you a golden cupcake instead. To be honest, I'd say that's more of a downgrade than anything, so just stop at level 3. Felix's loan lets you go into token debt up to 15 tokens. However, if you end the night in debt, you'll get jump scared by Felix himself.
Ooh.
Tier 2 allows up to 30 tokens, and Tier 3,
Bad.
you can go into unlimited debt. This upgrade seems kinda meme, but Tier 2 is actually useful if you want to get an instant death coin.
Goalable
You just gotta
contest
make
and my
to farm
opponent
those
is
tokens
Derek.
back before the night ends.
Dog, I don't know. It was like in the same font and everything.
Backdoor trading adds 1 extra animatronic to every salvage location, though these animatronics are from a different pool of characters.
Hey, buddy.
The guest characters. There are 7 secret
Pop
animatronics
goes.
you can only encounter through this upgrade. Coffee, Dude, Chipper, Sparky, Candy, Popgoes, and Rodney. Coffee appears randomly once per night. When he spawns, you must play a game of Pong against this bunny for 30 seconds. If you let the
Bunny
ball get past
mentioned?
you,
It's like Momiji, like my little guy that my entire profile is themed around. He's in the thumbnail of this video actually.
you'll instantly power out. Dude is a funny one. Once per night, a minigame will appear on your screen, and it's none other than the FNAF 3 troll games got released back in 2015, though you only play a few levels. You get 10 lives to get through this minigame, and if you fail, you get jump scared. Chipper is one of the
By
most
Scott
simple
Cawthon
animatronics in this
himself.
game. Basically, he adds lumber to the shop, and
Oh,
it
no
costs
more
from 11
pickle?
to 30 tokens. Your goal is to buy this item before 6 AM, otherwise you'll get killed. The 4th guest character is Sparky. When he spawns, you hear a bark sound, and to ward him off, you must search for the camera where the bark is loudest and hit the controlled shock button.
I didn't even know there was a controlled shock button. Thought you were gonna say bunny mentioned like
When
me.
Sparky's active,
N-
switch the
I'm-
camera
No, I like bunnies, but that's a little much,
will shorten his kill timer more and more.
even for me.
But the base kill timer is pretty long, so you have plenty of time to finish whatever you're doing before trying to find him. This next character, I'm sure you're very acquainted with. It's none other than Candy from the hit FNAF fan game Five Nights at Candy's.
My YouTube
Wait,
video.
That's not it. Candy will appear on that TV I mentioned earlier, and a timer will start ticking down. When this timer hits 0, you cannot be caught without the mask. This looks a bit familiar, doesn't it? The second to last extra character is Popgoes. He begins in cam 1 initially turned off. After a while, he'll activate and show a text bubble with a camera number. This means he'll move into that camera and try to use this printer right here. To stop him from doing so, all you have to do is hit the controlled shock button and send him back to cam 1.
So it's like real
Popgoes can only move to the
Popgoes.
4 cameras adjacent to the stage. Cam 8, Cam 7, Cam 2, and Cam 3. If you feel-
Popgoes is so cool. I wish there was a way to turn it into a video, but both Popgoes 420 and the 420 from Popgoes Custom Night or whatever it is are both lower than modes I've beaten. So I don't know. Maybe I could find a way to make it harder, but it's such a cool game.
to shock him in time, you get jump scared. And finally, the last character. Oh boy, it's Rodney. Who the f are you?
What do you want from me?
I lose -1 for this. Just ignore him. Okay.
Hey, smart move. Sure is a good thing you don't have to listen to someone talk all night now, huh?
It's like Bennett Foddy.
I don't know about you, but I could go for some alcohol, simulated gambling, animated blood, and comic mischief right about now.
You need to shut the f up and get out of the way!
Yeah, don't count on beating 40-20 with this gameplay, pal.
Get out of the way, you f***ing fat bird, bro!
Alright, here's a
I
really
totally
cool
forgot the
challenge to try.
values.
Beat the night with the audio muted, your monitor off, and the computer unplugged.
Yo, this guy is just my comment section, man! Yeah, Rodney doesn't. Yo, this guy is just my comment section, man!
That was,
Yeah, Rodney
that was a
doesn't
good
do
one.
anything, really. He's just there to be annoying. Anyway, we were talking about upgrades.
I like that you get -$1.
The mini
for
multiplier makes all
salvaging
minigames
him.
give 25% more tokens than usual, 50% at level 2, and a whopping 100% at level 3. That's 60 tokens for one Fred Sweeper, by the way. Definitely one of the best upgrades to get.
Still laughing
Up
over that
next is
stupid
Big Change.
comment section.
This
joke.
one increases the amount of tokens you get per blocked animatronic. The first level gives a 1.5x increase. And I know what you're thinking, but if you get 1 token per block normally, how would that change anything?
I feel like that one video of Shaq trying to like entertain the this baby, and her dad's like behind her holding her, and he's the one laughing, and it's not even her. That's what I feel like right now.
You get 1.5 tokens?
Yes.
Internally, you do get 1.5 token, which is why here you see me getting 1 token at first, then 2 for the next block. The second level gives a 2 times increase, so every block awards 2 tokens. Honestly, this is a very...
Was it relatable? Not really. My comment sections are just my friends being nice to me and supporting. Although you did leave a comment one time asking if I could make a video about spending 5 nights at Freddy's. So I guess that's the closest thing.
upgrade in my opinion. On harder nights, you're blocking doors and putting on the mask every 5 seconds. With this upgrade maxed out, it can lead to a lot of free tokens. Next up, the Retina Burner. This one is, in my opinion, one of the worst upgrades in the game. What it does is increase the radius and strength of the flashlight. Which, sure, it can help get rid of some animatronics faster, but the base flashlight does enough of a good job already, so don't spend your money on this unless you have some to spare. The next upgrade is All Ears. One bot, you can now hear clearly through the mask. Before,
That's
sounds
nice.
would be muffled, making it harder to hear all the sound cues.
Hello?
After buying All Ears, you unlock the Cool Glasses. The idea of this upgrade is to let you see better with the mask on. It has some uses, I guess, but the best one is definitely this.
Now what is the high spot?
Get away from me!
Thanks, Freddy.
Thank you. Power AC allows your temperature to go below 0. The first tier makes it go 50% below, while the second allows it to go down to 100%. That's an entire extra bar of temperature. If you combine this with the snow cone item, you can definitely rule out the use of the fan. And speaking of fans, the next upgrade is the Super Fan. One of my favorites. Super Fan does exactly what you expect. It makes the fan super. Tier 1 makes the fan cool down the office 50% faster, and Tier 2 twice as fast. It's a crazy good upgrade. Our 9th upgrade, yeah, you thought I haven't been keeping count, huh? Is the Spawn Killer. This one's fairly simple. It just gives you a death coin at the start of the night. So if you got any annoying animatronics you don't want to deal with, this upgrade allows you to just get rid of them as soon as the night begins. And you
This
still
video
keep
is
the death
funny,
coin in the shop,
man.
by the way. The only downside is that it's one of the most expensive upgrades, if not the most expensive. I haven't really checked, but it's one of the most expensive upgrades in the game. Alright, let me speed this
Excluding
up so the video
files.
doesn't end up being 10 hours long. Overcharge gives
How
you
long
additional
this
power in
stream
the
gonna
night.
be?
Tier 1 gives 10%, Tier 2 25%. When you buy Tier 2, you can purchase Power Hour, which replaces Overcharge and gives you infinite power for the first hour. Head Start makes it so all the animatronics only activate 15 seconds into the night. Tier 2 increases it to 30 seconds and unlocks a Late Start. That makes it so you start at 12:30 a.m. Honestly,
Like
Late
Plush
Start
Trap.
is pretty mid. I'd stop at Tier 2. Cam Radar shows all the animatronics locations in the camera system.
Should I be like taking
Level 2
notes?
shows the specific animatronic in each cam. Fuzzy Dice makes the first reroll in the upgrade shop completely free. Buying this unlocks Upgrade Commander. That makes the entire Upgrade Cadet inventory accessible from the get-go, but you can't reroll. Employee Discount makes all items in the Mendo shop cost 10% less. Upgrading to Tier 2 increases that to 25%. This is overall a good item, and it's even better with the next upgrade. The best upgrade in the game, hands down. Overstock. Oh, Overstock, my beloved. This upgrade gives 1 extra stock for every item in Mendo's shop. Yes, that includes Mimic Ball and Distortion Clock. Buying this item not only allows you to get more AR masks and laser doors, but with enough tokens, you can literally skip 4 hours of the night. If that didn't sound crazy enough, let me make it worse. Overstock has a second tier that gives another extra stock.
There's so much
Yes,
to buy.
that's 4
I know.
distortion clocks.
This one spot is nearly 10 minutes long.
4 death points, 4 laser doors, you name it.
I was gonna say it might be the
Combine this
longest
with
part of the
employee
video, but
discount,
it's
mini
not.
multiplier, any upgrade that helps you get more tokens,
This is
you're
oh,
essentially invincible.
trophies definitely.
I would make a
is.
tier list of the upgrade items, but there's no point. This one smokes all of them. The last 3 upgrades are the game cartridges: Mangle cartridge, Anim Dude cartridge, and Cupcake cartridge. These unlock 3 minigames: Mangle Tangle Mania, Scott Slots, and Cupcake Clicker. Mangle Tangle being Snake, Scott Slots being Gambling, and Cupcake Clicker, Cookie Clicker. Cupcake Clicker is decent, and Scott Slots can be really good if you're lucky. Mangle Tangle, on the other hand, is horrendous. It's slow, and the controls are terrible. All of these minigames get mocked by Fred Sweeper anyway, but I still recommend buying them since it leads to a trophy later on. That concludes all the upgrades in Upgrade Cadet's shop. After reaching the quota and buying all the upgrades you want, head back to the Little Bear to begin Night 2.
Cool. How many
Night 2
nights
introduces
are
you to
there?
Balloon Boy. He
2?
starts in a vent system and will make his way towards either one of the vent entrances. The audio lure has no effect on him, so the only way to fend him off is with the mask. If Balloon Boy gets in, he'll deactivate your flashlight until he disappears. A quick fun fact is that there's a small chance Balloon Boy jump scares you instead. Well, not so fun of a fact
No, wait. There can't be 2 because I've beaten the first 2.
now that I think about it. Now, since this game doesn't have set animatronics you deal with, I'm just going to use this section to give general tips for all the nights. Generally, when you begin the night, you want to immediately start Fred sweeping. After you get your 30 tokens, you can choose to either death point somebody or play for the long run and buy 2 golden cupcakes. The best way to survive the nights is to farm tokens so you can buy 2 sets of the AR mask and laser doors, and then while they're active, farming more tokens to buy distortion clocks. Do keep in mind that if the night you're currently on is really easy, it's probably best to farm as many tokens as you can instead of buying clocks, since the more tokens you have at the end, the more performance bonus you get. One last tip I want to give is don't take animatronics just for their salvage value. This game's difficulty can spike ridiculously high if you only take the hardest animatronics. For an example, you walk up to Wither Freddy and you're like, "Oh, $23, I'll take him." Well, congratulations, now you have this menace for the rest of the game. So don't do that, seriously. Unless you're trying to unlock the character, then you can do that. But anyway, let's head to the next location.
I'm glad they found the location. It'd be bad if it would be bad if it was like a lost location and they couldn't find it. You know, because then they'd be like, well, "How did we get here?" Plus. Music's pretty good too.
The second location is none other than the FNAF 2 Pizzeria. Here you'll encounter 7 new animatronics to salvage. Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, Mangle, JJ, Lefty, and RWQFS, whatever, Shadow
I'm
Bonnie.
blocking you. I'm gonna be so honest, I don't even remember what I did. Maybe it was just so bad I just blocked it out of my memory. Let's see. Yeah, I don't remember what I did wrong. Oops. Let's go
Bonnie,
back. That's a cool design.
Toy Chica, Mangle, JJ, Lefty, and RWQFS, whatever, Shadow Bonnie. Like in the first location, I'll explain them in order from
Oh, was it the Lost Location custom night joke?
easiest to hardest so you know which ones you should prioritize taking. Toy Freddy is the easiest animatronic in the game. To avoid his jump scare, you have to beat his high score in a minigame of your choice. However, his high scores are absolute trash. For example, his Fred Sweeper high score, a 20 AI, is 45 seconds. Like, what are you doing? Do you have fat plastic fingers and can press the buttons or something?
Aww.
JJ is basically Balloon Boy, except if she gets in, you won't be able to use the doors until she disappears. Basically the exact same as UCN. It's pretty difficult to miss her though, so she's hardly a threat. Toy Bonnie is also a vent animatronic.
I
but
would
a
like
little more
to apologize for that apparently really bad joke about Lost Location custom night.
dangerous. If you get caught without the mask, you'll get jump scared. Unlike BB and JJ, you can use the lure to keep him at bay. Though in my experience, the lure slows him down more than anything. Eventually he will enter and you'll have to put on the mask. Thankfully, all these vent characters make very obvious sound cues when they reach the office, so it's not that bad to deal with. Mangle has a pretty unique mechanic. When you begin the night, you'll notice a sticky note with a camera number. This is pointing to the camera Mangle's in. Going into that camera isn't immediately lethal, but if you stay for too long, you'll get jump scared. Mangle will switch cams every flip down, so always check the note on the window. This sounds like a super easy character to deal with, but the reason why I'm putting them into the more difficult tier is because the amount of time you stare at her is cumulative. Let's take 20 AI for example. If you stare at Mangle
It's
for
like
1 second,
Old
you get
candy
killed. But if you
in
stare for half a second,
Blood
then half
720.
a second after, you get killed way faster. And you're sharing this 1 second for the entire 6-minute night. Luckily, Mangle can't spawn in the camera you're currently on, so you should always keep your cam on Puppet to avoid looking at her. Toy Chica sends her cupcake into the office when you flip down the camera. To avoid her, you have to click the cupcake quickly before getting jump scared. This death timer can vary from 15 to 5 seconds, and it'll tick down twice as fast if you have the camera open. The cupcake can be pretty sneaky, so here's all the spots it can
music
spawn in.
goes hard.
Up next is Lefty, which is most people's worst nightmare, but I'm gonna show you she's actually not that bad. Lefty shares the vents with everyone else, though her mechanic is completely different. Instead of the audio lure luring, it pushes Lefty away. The reason why everyone hates Lefty is because if they reach your vent entrance, it's game over. You can't put the mask on to get rid of them. Luckily, there's a strategy that completely nullifies this character and is called Lefty trapping. Since the lure actually wards her away, if Lefty is in one of those 4 squares, you can place the lure on the vent entrance corresponding to the side she's at. And just like that, Lefty is completely trapped. She'll keep moving up and down forever. The only downside of this strat is that since the lure is exactly on the entrance, the other vent characters will appear more frequently, but it's still very much worth it to use it. And now for the last and hardest character of the second location, Shadow Bonnie. This character is insufferable. Basically, they'll slowly materialize in the office and will jump scare you eventually.
The Girls Night OST is so good.
To stop this, you have to shine your light on them, undoing their progress. They appear even quicker the hotter the office is. At lower AI levels, Shadow Bonnie is mostly chill, but the higher the AI, this character gets exponentially more annoying. You have to constantly flip down the camera to keep them away, and if you had previously brought Endo to the building, yeah, you're gonna have a bad time. Like, am I just dead? I'm just dead. I'm simply just dead. What do? Fucking Endo is on the window, man. You want me to shine the lights? I can't. I literally can't. That wraps up the second location. After we complete night 3, we head to the third location. A frightening one even.
Fazbear Fright. Yo, that goes crazy. So does this one though.
Yep, we're now in the FNAF 3 location. In this place, we've got, you guessed it, 7 animatronics. Those being Helpy, Malhair, the Phantoms, Mr. Hippo, Shadow Freddy, Scrap Baby, and
Music Man!
I'd say the theme for this area is distraction.
Shadow
and
Bonnie
annoyance.
looks cool as hell. I know, I like how like the little like teeth I think it is inside his face.
Because out of all the 7, only one of them can kill you. Malhair limits the amount of camera flips you can make. This varies from 35 to 25 flips depending on the AI. If you use up all flips, you won't immediately die, but you'll be unable to enter cams again, essentially meaning game over to Puppet.
That's
Music Man's
crazy.
purpose is to mess with you by playing fake audio cues. These are all sounds you can play.
Hello?
So realistic too.
Hi.
Although maybe the hello is the normal audio cue. I actually don't know what it's supposed to sound like. Because all the other ones are pretty realistic. Dude, he has a whole arsenal of them.
Oh, security guard.
Was that one of them? Oh, what did I just do? That's what I just
LP
did.
does exactly the opposite of what his name implies. During the night, you'll start getting pop-up ads that block part of your view. You can get rid of them by pressing the X on the top right of the window. This character sounds pretty tame, but this is the most rage-bait animatronic I've ever seen. Just look at this.
Look here. God darn it.
Spamming the soundboard.
Why did it do that?
Hello there. God darn it.
No! Oh my god. Dude. Mr. Hippo's the last vent animatronic in this game. His main gimmick is not making a voice line when reaching the office.
Fat as hell,
Instead,
bro.
he makes loud vent noises, and once he gets in,
Well, am I glad to see you? You know, I'd actually been thinking about it a lot recently. Specifically magic, because my buddy Orville, he's a magician. And, there's a lot of argument in the world about, the believability of magic, whether or not it can even be a real thing. And for me, magic is strange. I've, heard about all sorts of different things and all sorts of spiritual,
Just straight talking.
strange subjects. Like, pretty sure I've heard something about remnant being uttered here and there. But that's here nor there. I don't really understand any of that. What I do understand is card games. And
No
card games
correlation.
have been popular recently. For example,
Are they?
I can't. It's something to do with magic, I believe. But
The Gathering.
seen some of the kids' older brothers and sisters playing it in the big kids section of the restaurant.
up next is Scrap Baby. She'll appear in Cam 8s after a certain amount of time and start draining your power. When she spawns, the sound cue is played.
I've never seen anyone play Minesweeper so fast.
As soon as she shows up, you won't immediately lose power.
Game really
Only
funny.
after the
I
warning
know.
icon appears next to the usage.
Low-key,
To get rid of her, hit a
low-key,
controlled
a
shotgun or
funny
camera.
game.
Oh yeah, by the way, the reason why she's
I'm excited to
lethal
play
is
it.
because if you power out with her active, the Phantoms are basically Phantom BB from FNAF 3. There are 6 different Phantoms you can encounter, but they all do the same thing. So choose a random camera to be in, and when you switch to that cam, they'll start building up. If you let this happen all the way, you get jump scared. Not in a game over way though, but they will raise your temperature by 25%. And finally, Shadow Freddy, who only appears once in the night, but when he does, he makes your life hell. When Shadow Freddy spawns, the entire office and cameras will go dark, forcing you to use the flashlight to be able to see anything. This can last up to a minute depending on the AI, so if you have any of these characters on, prepare to have a terrible time. So those are the Location 3 animatronics. There's not much else to be said. Make sure to buy your upgrades, and let's go to Location 4.
Is it just gonna be the house? Oh, I guess not. Williams Woods.
At last, we've reached the final location in the game.
Oh, maybe
And
it
as
is the
expected, it's FNAF 4 themed.
house. Okay.
Our threats here are Plush Trap, Nightmare Fredbear, Dreadbear,
Trap.
Nightmare Yawn,
Dreadbear?
Nightmare Balloon Boy, Twisted Wolf, and Molten Freddy.
From the book?
Contrary to the last location, everyone here is very much lethal. This place probably has the most dangerous animatronics out of every location so far. Nightmare Yawn, I'd say, is the easiest character in Location 4. He'll appear in front of one of your doors, and all you have to do is not look towards him. When he's active, he'll constantly make the nightmare jump scare sound, and if you're looking at him, the sound will get louder. Nightmare BB will sometimes appear in the cameras.
Their sister
When he
location?
does, you have to smack the shit out of him until he goes away. Honestly,
Guess
this is
not.
a dream come true. If you've watched my UCN videos, you know how much I hate this guy. Dreadbear is just really hungry. If you pan the camera
Does it
left
have
and
to be
right,
human?
you'll notice some very familiar bowls with candy in them. After a while, Dreadbear will show up outside the window asking for food. To get rid of him, you gotta look at which candy he's asking for and drag it into his mouth.
Boy
If you take too
candy
long,
or girl
let's just say
candy?
you'll be his third food option. Molten Freddy is yet another door character like Bonnie and Chica. The only real difference here is that when he starts approaching the door, you can't just close it and he'll immediately bonk. He bonks after a predetermined amount of time. Now for the actually difficult characters. Nightmare Fredbear basically puts on a limit on how high your temperature can be. Once your temperature reaches a certain threshold, his teeth will begin clamping down. To make him go away, you have to turn on the fan, and, this is very important, the temperature is below that threshold. So what is this threshold even? It varies with AI, but at 20 AI, it's 5 bars. I do not recommend taking this guy under any circumstance. If you
That's
don't have any
crazy.
super fan upgrades, you basically have to babysit the temperature meter and make sure it never goes above 6. Otherwise, even if you turn on the fan, you'll still get killed. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention that the teeth can still come down even while you're in camps, so you can just get sniped out of nowhere. Twisted Wolf is rage bait if it was a FNAF character. When you flip down the camera, there's a chance he'll appear. To fend him off, you have to click on this tiny disc that spawns in random
That's
spots on
actually
his body.
so
It sounds
cool. That's actually such a sick mechanic. As a nerd who read the books, that's cool.
Fine at first, but there's 2 big issues. The first one being, the hitbox for this is absolutely broken and stupid.
You understand this? Card games.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong?
I keep getting Discord
The
notifications.
second reason, it gets blocked by so many things.
I don't even know
If
what
you get a helpy ad over it, GG.
server it's
If you
coming
get
from.
Dreadbear's candy bubble over it, GG. Hell, if you get Music Man at the perfect time, GG. This character is definitely one of the hardest ones, and it's funny because it's not even himself that's the issue. It's him combined with everyone else. If you have a chill roster though, he isn't much trouble. Though he doesn't give you that much money, so take him if you want to. And now for hands down the hardest character of Location 4, Plush Trap. This little guy is disgustingly annoying to deal with. Every time you flip down the camera, he'll appear on the window and move towards one of the 2 doors. Where he goes to is where you have to shine your light to get rid of him. Now, obviously on his own it doesn't sound that bad, but if you're flipping down the camera, there's probably a different reason for it. Whether it's to put on the mask for Event animatronic, get rid of Wither Foxy, and so on. You're never thinking about Plush Trap. So he'll quickly disappear from the window and you'll have no idea where he is. And if you're thinking, well, just shine the light on both doors, the developers thought about that. If you light up the wrong door, you instantly get jump scared. There is one
crazy.
trick to ward off Plushtrap even if you don't know where he is. Basically, if you close one of the doors and shine the light on the other, you're either getting rid of him or not getting jump scared because Plushtrap's door is closed, so you can keep the strat in mind if you need it. Before we wrap this up, I want to mention an interaction with Twisted Wolf. If Twisted Wolf spawns, Plushtrap will always go to the right door. I assume it's because you can't really see him if you were to go to the left. And that concludes the Location 4 animatronics. After you beat Night 5, which shouldn't be too difficult as long as you don't take any hard characters, congratulations, you've completed the game and achieved the Slacker ending. Like I mentioned at the beginning, there are multiple endings to this game. When you beat the game, it shows endings discovered 1 of 4. The Slacker ending is basically just completing the game without reaching the criteria for any of the other endings, which is why all I really did until now was just explain all the animatronics. To get to the other 3 endings, we'll have to dig a little deeper and find some secrets. Let's begin with the easiest one, the evil ending. The criteria for the evil ending is actually very obvious. Each location has one secret animatronic, and I've already explained them before. Springtrap, Lefty, Scrap Baby, and Molted Freddy. What I didn't do, however, is explain how you get access to them. Springtrap is in the first location and he's located in a room next to the bathrooms, but there are planks in a way. If you interact with it, your character will mention not being able to get in without a way to break these planks. If you head to the opposite side of the hallway, there's an employee memo mentioning a hatchet that was put away because it was not safe for children. This hatchet is located right behind Endo in the parts and service room. To get it, you have to crouch under the shelf. Now, just head back to the planks and use the hatchet on it, and voila, Springtrap obtained. By the way, these secret animatronics don't count for the actual quota, so you still have to salvage up to 3 others before you can leave.
That's crazy.
Lefty is located behind a locked door next to the woman's bathroom. If you interact with it, your player mentions that someone might have the key, and that someone is none other than Balloon Boy.
Hello?
When you talk to Balloon Boy after interacting with the door, he'll give you a quiz before handing the key over. You have to get 3 questions correct to complete this quiz, and there are a bunch of possible questions. I'll leave a doc with all the questions and their answers in the description, so you can cheat your test. With the key, go back to the door and salvage Lefty. In the third location, salvaging the secret animatronic gets a bit more complicated. In the office, there's a secret keypad you can input a password in, just like in the original game. The code consists of 6 digits, and the clues for it are scattered all around the building. The first clue is right outside the entrance inside the Chica head. It says, the first 3 numbers are all odd, the last 3 numbers are all even. The second clue is on the Freddy head next to the office. This one says, every number in the password is unique. There's no 1, 6, or 7, god damn it. The third clue is on the Foxy head just behind Music Man. It says, the 5 comes last in a password. Or third? Honestly, I forgot.
Third, because the
And
first
fourth
3
one
are
is just
odd.
beside it on the bodysuit. This one says, the 4 comes after a number smaller than it and before a number larger than it. So let's analyze these clues to form the password.
So it would
The
be
first 3
something
numbers are
something
all odd,
5.
and the last 3 are all even. Okay. Every number in the
2,
password
4,
is unique,
8?
so no repeats. No 1, 6, or 7, which leaves only 3, 5, and 9 for the odd numbers, and 2, 4, and 8 for the even ones. The 5 comes last in a password, or third? Well, we know it's the third number because then the first clue wouldn't make sense. So 5 is in the third spot, guaranteed. The 4 comes after a number smaller than it and before a number larger than it. Since we only have 2, 4, and 8, then the 4 would be in between 2 and 8. Alright, that leaves only the 3 and the 9. Well, it could only be 395, 248 or 935, 248.
Just try
If you
both.
test 935, okay, didn't work. That leaves 395, 248. There we go, puzzle solved. Fun fact, this is the exact same code of the FNAF 3 minigame Easter egg. So you could have solved this by just playing the original game. Pretty neat, right? Anyway, inputting the code opens up a door right outside the office, and that's where Scrap Baby is. For the last location, you might have already figured it out on your first playthrough. In one of the rooms on the second floor, there's a very peculiar box sitting on a desk. If you try to interact with it,
It's the
it'll ask for a
FNAF 4
code.
box.
And right next to this box is a paper saying, "The password is the name of my favorite child." Well, we're in William's house, so definitely not the crying child. I mean, we've seen
Aw.
what happened to him. Elizabeth, she got clapped too. Michael Afton, probably not. But there is one thing William is really attached to. Way too attached even.
It's
Spring
the
Bonnie.
box.
If you type in
Yeah.
Spring Bonnie, the box will open, revealing Molten Freddy. Now, all you have to do is complete the 5th night again, which shouldn't be too difficult. Death Coin Springtrap, Trapped Lefty, Scrap Baby is free, and Molten Freddy is just an extra door character. After you beat the night, you get a cutscene with Vanny again, and she'll invite you to a date tomorrow night. Oh, a date with Vanny? Let's go! Oh, come on!
They just done slimed her out right then and there. The one and only.
Wouldn't shut up about you. I was sure the stranglehold I had on her mind was absolute, but somehow, whenever she talked about you, I could feel it loosening. Well, I certainly could have done.
This is how Akito be talking about the Zodiac spirits in a fruit basket.
Incessant flirting, but I must thank you both. You two have played your parts incredibly. Really, I mean it. That old suit was rather limiting, as much as it meant to me. But now, I've become something far greater, far beyond anything the rest ever were. And with this body, I will reshape this world into my own, deliver retribution onto its wretched populace. Oh, don't give me that sour face. You don't have a thing to worry about. After all, you won't be here to see it.
Nothing more fitting for an ending all about salvaging to be fighting against a dude named Salvage, who's an amalgamation of all the dangerous
Fetty
salvages
on the
you've been
wall.
fighting against a dude named.
Really? Oh yeah, Fetty.
Nothing more fitting for an ending all about salvaging
I didn't
to
even
be
see
fighting
him.
against a dude named Salvage, who's an amalgamation of all the dangerous salvages you've been taking until now. Night 6 is a boss fight. Here you'll have to fend off against all 5 of Salvage's phases, and each phase, he'll introduce some of the characters you took during that run until the last phase, where you'll have to deal with both the boss and all the animatronics. During the first phase, you'll add all the characters from the first night, and will only have one attack. You'll make a static sound, and briefly after, attack one of your doors. To prevent getting jump scared, you have to not only close that door, but mash the door button multiple times to push him away. Oh, you hear that? Is that him? That's funny. Each time you do this, Salvage will lose a bit of health. He begins in cam 1 and goes down 1 camera at a time until reaching the door. Every time he moves, you can hear a sound cue. You can actually speed up how fast he reaches your office by shining the light on him in cams. He basically acts as a reverse spring trap. Instead of going backwards, he'll move forwards. Once you get rid of the first bar, he'll go into phase 2, adding more animatronics and getting a new attack.
He's going for the breakers. Shock him at the source.
This attack is similar to Scrap Baby. After a certain amount of time, Salvage will move into one of these cams, and shortly after, cause a power outage. If he gets to do this, he'll regenerate his health until you shock the correct camera. Obviously you don't want to let that happen, so you should be constantly on the lookout to see if he left cam 1. If he's not there, then you gotta look for wherever he went. I think he's left. Okay, he's definitely left.
You're quite the stubborn one. You know you're only delaying the inevitable.
He's seeping into the vents. Cut him off before he gets to you.
When you get to phase 3, Salvage will start attacking from the vents, sending wires towards the entrances. This mechanic is probably the easiest one. When a wire is there, a warning symbol will start flashing on the vent button. All you have to do is click on the eyeball to make it go away.
Just use death token on salvage. Why didn't he think of that? Duh.
He's breached your office. Grab those wires and launch them out.
Phase 4 is where things get chaotic. Almost everybody from your roster is active, and there will be wires in the office trying to kill you. When they appear, you have to pull them down and make them disappear. Leaving one of them inside for too long will result in a jump scare. So now you have 4 different attacks to deal with: doors, power outages, vents, and the wires in the office. The best way to keep everything in check is to just stay in the office and periodically check cams to see where salvage is. I recommend playing some mini games so you can buy the bear trap power up, in case you mess up something. Don't buy the laser doors because that will stop salvage from attacking from them, which sounds good at first, but then you can't damage him aside from controlled shocks, and that doesn't do much damage.
Seems he's used up all his tricks. Hold out just a bit longer.
Look.
I'm almost there.
Pause! Now it's time to hold out. During the last phase, salvage will go crazy mode and start attacking really often. Any items you had before will be taken away, and he will only do
Oh my
door
god, they got
attacks and
the
office wires.
wave.
The best strat for this section is to just sit in the office and survive. Just don't forget about the animatronics you picked. If any of them require cams, you still have to deal with them. Just keep surviving and dealing damage, and eventually he'll run out of HP. Come on, attack me. Oh.
You must think you have me on the ropes, do you? Well, little do you know, I've one more trick up my sleeve. Did you really think you could defeat me? You, the little morsel you are. You are nothing.
That's not nice.
Always be nothing.
That's not nice.
Is how it shall remain. Once I'm through with you here, you'll be forgotten. Not even a footnote in my legacy. When this is all over,
I like his design.
I need to turn on my fan.
Is it hot in here?
I gotta turn on my fan. Oh shit.
I'm sorry I had to do this. But if you play with fire, you're going to get burned.
Foxy UCN reference. Rockstar Foxy
And that's the salvage
specifically.
boss fight. It can get pretty difficult depending on who you salvage during the first 5 nights, which is why I will keep reminding you, don't take too many of the hard animatronics. This game can go from a breeze to literally the hardest fan game ever depending on who you take. Before we move on to the next ending, I want to teach you a really funny exploit with this boss fight. I call it the salvage cheese strat. Basically, if you buy the death coin, you can actually use it on the boss. Using a death coin on him will not kill him immediately, but will do an entire phase of damage.
I can't believe
If you have overstock,
that you were actually right.
you can buy up to 4 death coins and just obliterate the boss. Now, during the last phase, salvage takes all your items away. However, if you click on all the death coins and then use it on salvage, you completely bypass that and just end the fight immediately. If you're struggling with this boss fight, here you go. You're welcome.
Music's fire too.
Since we have an evil ending, it would
Actually
only make sense
possible.
that there's a good
I
ending as well. The
can't
good
believe
ending is
it.
probably the easiest to achieve. Each location has an arcade machine you can play. The first one is right in front of the entrance, Chomping with Chica. In this minigame, you have to eat the pizzas while avoiding the bombs. Under the text explaining how the game works, there's the score you have to beat to get a reward. Once you go over that score, you get a gift box and you can give it to upgrade cadets to get $5 extra.
Sick.
However, instead of doing that, after completing your quota, you'll find the marionette inside the office. Giving the gift box to them instead will award you with a Freddy mask and trigger a power outage. During this segment, your goal is to escape the building without getting caught by the endoskeletons roaming around. The best way to avoid them is to crouch and listen to their footsteps. The first location only has 2 endos. Just move carefully and make sure they're never looking directly at you, and you should be fine.
Oh.
If you do end up getting caught, it's not the end of the world. You still get to progress to the next night, though you do lose $5 in the process. The second location's arcade machine is located just to the right of Upgrade Cadet, in the Mangle Room. This one's called Puppet Patrol, and the goal here is to click on the kid's marionette is requesting. The issue is, you can't see anything. Every 5 seconds, a light beam will pass through, revealing the colors of the kids within it. Also, by holding right click, you can charge your flashlight. The longer you hold, the further the light will reach. But there is a limit to how much you can charge the light. If this bar gets fully depleted, you won't be able to use the light for a few seconds until the bar stops blinking. Each kid you click correctly awards you 1 point, though there is a special crying child you can find, and clicking that one awards 5 points. So stay on the lookout for those. Unlike the previous minigame, this one doesn't really have a way to lose. Even if you click the wrong color, the puppet will just get mad, but nothing happens. So just keep clicking and beat the score to get the second gift box. The marionette, like in the first location, spawns in the office too. Give the gift box to her and get ready for the hardest endo section of the game. Run! Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh shit! Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with this one. There are 3 endos in this location, one being in one of the side rooms next to the office, and the other 2 next to the exit. This one is kind of a gamble. The first endo is hard to avoid since you can't really know if he's staring at you without potentially being seen. If you do get spotted, just bolt for the exit and try to avoid the other 2. Otherwise, you can sneak past them by crouching next to the tables. The third minigame is in the glitch trap room. This one's a bit more hidden, so this is the path you have to take. In this room, one of the arcade machines will be playable, and there you can play the worst minigame of all time, Hair Pairs. In this minigame, you have to match the pairs of cards with the same animatronics in them. There are 6 types of cards: Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Freddy, Golden Freddy, and Marionette. To match a pair, the 2 cards have to be right next to each other, either horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. Each pair matched will be removed, and the goal is to match every pair until there are no cards left. The issue is that if there aren't any possible matches left, you lose. And I'll be honest, I don't really know how to make this consistent. The best you can do is make as many diagonal matches as possible, since that lines up more horizontal and vertical matches. Aside from that, you could just make matches as fast as possible at the beginning and only start thinking later on when you have 2 or 3 rows of cards left. The score to beat is related to time on this one, which is why I said to just make matches really fast at the start. Once you get to 4 cards remaining, it's impossible to lose, so make the last 2 matches and claim the 3rd gift box. The endo section for this location is probably the easiest one in the game. There's only one endo, and 90% of the time he just gets stuck on a doorway, so he just lets you escape for free. In the last location, the arcade machine is located just upstairs in the first room to the left. This minigame is called Pirate Plunder. The goal is to steal treasure from the Seagoon without getting caught by its tentacles. Holding right click moves you forwards and left click moves you backwards. Once you reach the treasure chest, you gotta hold right click to collect the spoils. However, the more treasure you have on you, the slower you are. To claim your points, you have to make it back to the ship with the gold. Doing this will put you back at 0 gold and give back all your speed. The strategy here is to not be greedy. Take up to 20 gold and go back. Once you hit the high score, go into the FNAF 4 bedroom to meet the marionette for the final time. When you collect the final mask, you know the drill. Escape the endo and leave the building. There's only one endo here as well, and he wanders on the hallway in front of the entrance. It's really easy to avoid him though, since the bedroom has 2 entrances. Just listen to the footsteps to know which side he's at and exit from the other. After beating night 5, you'll get a cutscene with Michael Afton. He'll hand you a game console in an attempt to communicate with the spirits inside the animatronics. And so we begin Night 6.
Well, here we are. Seems they cut power to a lot of the systems around the building. Figures, seeing as we're not exactly meant to be here. But that shouldn't be a problem. We have all we need. Boot that game up when you're ready. I'm counting on you.
There once lived a boy. This boy was very sad. He was a crybaby who had no friends. Aww. Wow, I'm a crybaby who has no friends, cried the boy. If only someone would show up to my birthday party. Oh, who am I kidding? It's just gonna be me and those dumb robots again. It would seem there was no denying his fate. The party would be a disaster. Well, maybe. With those 4 masks and a bit of elbow grease, maybe we have one last chance to make things right. Don't screw it up. Happiest day mentioned? Do you think that's gonna be top 1? Loki? Yeah. I mean, it looks insane. I'm pretty sure it's like confirmed. I haven't really been keeping up with it, so maybe it's like really obvious that it's harder than Perfect Cacophony, but from what I've seen, it is harder. It's that crybaby. It's that crybaby's birthday today, huh? Man, with my. Oh my gosh. You can pause and go back if you. Or just go watch the video yourself if you want to read it.
The final night has you against the Nightmare animatronics. Nightmare Bonnie, Nightmare Chica, Nightmare Freddy, and Nightmare Foxy. During this night,
I like the
you have
design
to
of the
play a
nightmares.
platformer game, Freddy
Very
and Nightmare Foxy.
Coraline vibes.
During this night, you have to play a platformer game and make it to the end without dying. Now, aside from the animatronics, you also have to worry about your temperature. Well, you always had to, but this time you can't simply turn on the fan to keep it down. It constantly goes up, and every time you die in the game, your temperature will increase. If it reaches 100%, you get jump scared by Nightmare himself. This game you're playing is called Happiest Day. It consists of 5 levels, and each level you clear spawns an animatronic until level 5, when everyone's on at once. The first level is basically a tutorial. No one is active and the level itself is fairly easy. Just keep holding right and jump whenever needed. Keep in mind that every checkpoint you hit or when you finish the level, your temperature gets fully reset. Once you find this little dude with a Freddy mask, you'll advance to the second level, activating Nightmare Freddy.
That woke Freddy up. Keep your flashlight at the ready. Don't let the little ones accumulate in your office.
Nightmare Freddy,
So it's just the
like in
Freddles?
FNAF 4, doesn't attack himself. He sends Freddles to do the job instead. You'll hear Freddles spawn every once in a while, and when they do, use the light on all of them to ward off Freddy. If a Freddle stays for too long, he'll appear on the screen, partially blocking your view. If you get 3 Freddles on the screen at once, you get jump scared. The level itself is not that bad. The main threats are these little rat thingies that roam around the whole place. Just jump over them or Goomba stomp them and they're no issue whatsoever. When you get to the 3rd level, you wake up Nightmare Bonnie.
He's closer now. I can sense it. Keep an eye on the hallway. Shine your light if you hear Bonnie coming.
You make a sound cue
Hear
whenever
Bonnie
he's approaching
what?
one of the doors and you gotta flash that doorway to keep him out. The game itself doesn't get much harder, though there is one room that can pose a challenge, the elevator. This part has you going down a platform.
It's like that
avoiding
one
spikes and
Boo house in New Super Mario Bros. Wii.
other traps while keeping the office characters at bay. To make this easier, remember the spike pattern. The first set of spikes is on the sides. The second one is in the middle. And this keeps repeating itself until the end where there are 2 sets of spike balls moving side to side. So keep this pattern in mind while avoiding the animatronics. You can move your character even if you don't have the game pulled up, though your vision will be way smaller, but you can still use this to move your character to safety while dealing with anyone in the office. After clearing the elevator room, you reach level 4, where Chica will activate.
Just one more should be enough to bring him out. Chica's coming. Don't let her see you without the mask on.
Chica will show up at the window, going from left to right. When she gets near the middle, she'll look towards you. If she catches you without the mask on, you get jump scared. Thankfully, she makes footstep sounds to warn you of her arrival. As soon as she turns away, you're good to take off the mask and continue playing the game. The 4th level gets pretty dicey, introducing the timed spikes. To avoid these, patience is key. Wait until the spikes are about to go down and jump towards them. Aside from that, there aren't any crazy difficult rooms, so just keep going until you get to the last level, the happiest day. During this level,
Kaizo.
Foxy makes his appearance.
I'm not
He
that
behaves
smart.
like-
I would screw this level up by trying to play 2 games at once. Yeah, this is crazy.
Exactly like Candy. Once you hear it ticking, you have
Kind of like playtime with Percy a little bit, in my opinion.
10
But-
seconds left until he enters a room.
That's the one with like the little
If you don't have the
Tamagotchi.
mask on when this happens, he'll kill you. This level is easily the hardest one. It's decently long and it has some really hard rooms to deal with alongside the animatronics. The first issue you'll face is this moving spring platform. Wait on the previous spring until everyone is gone and jump on the next one. You have to do this in one motion because trying to stay on the spring on the mini screen is really difficult. So just be patient and go when no one's there. Right after that, you have probably the hardest room of the night. This elevator is deadly, with spikes coming from both sides. Luckily, there is a strategy for this. What you can do is send the platform down and wait at the top. Once the office is clear, you can drop the whole thing in one go, making this way less of a pain to deal with. Once you get to the checkpoint, it's smooth sailing. The rest is just the same as level 4. Do be careful with these moving springs. You might think you can jump as soon as the head rises above the spikes, but the player actually drops all the way to the platform below before getting launched upwards. So just be extra patient here. After making the final jump, you finally reach the party.
Aww. Oh, it's Michael Afton and Crying Child. Duh. Aw. Michael Afton if he wasn't the absolute worst. So cute. Aw, this is sweet.
That concludes the third FRICKBEARS ending. The last one is actually the easiest one to get, but the hardest one to complete. That sounds a bit confusing, but you'll see. The fourth ending is called the money ending. Remember the Talbot files? Yeah, That's the only requirement to get this ending. All you have to do is gather enough money to buy it and complete Night 5. Remember, the best way to get money is to spam Fred Sweeper. Buy golden cupcakes as early as possible and collect them at the end of the night. The more tokens you have left when the night ends, the more the performance bonus will be. Once you beat Night 5, your boss is gonna call you, mentioning a secret bunker in the middle of the woods. If you know literally anything about the FNAF lore, you'll know what this means. Sister location.
Oh my gosh, you keep predicting everything in this game.
Yup, there's actually one more location you can go to in this game, and that's Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rental. Here we have the final 6 animatronics in FRICKBEARS 3. Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, Ballora, Baby, Lolbit, and Lol's Hacks.
Who
Since
dat?
this is a secret endgame location, most of these animatronics are pretty hard to deal with. I'll begin with Lol's Hacks because their difficulty is kinda RNG. Lol's Hacks makes you pick between two
You made
known
this game?
animatronics
Oh.
or one random one to add to the night. This is why his difficulty is uncertain. You can either get, I don't know, Toy Freddy or Wither Freddy and lose your mind. Though, if you end up dying, you'll get to pick a different character. Baby begins in Camp 7 and will ask you to find and click on all the Biddy Babs she requires. The number of Biddy Babs that spawn is proportional to her AI level. At 10 AI, you'll need to find 10. At 20 AI, you'll need to find 20. The Biddy Babs are scattered throughout all 8 cams, and some of the spots can be pretty sneaky. I'll leave here all Biddy Bab locations so you can eventually memorize it.
That's crazy. I like the design. They're a lot cuter than in Sister Location. Oh, I like the little bunny ears.
You have the entire night to find these Biddy Babs, so there's no need to rush. Though
Oh.
usually I just find all of them at the very beginning so you can get that out of the way. Each Biddy Bab you click gives you 1 token, so it's nice to do this first so you can use the tokens for some power-ups. Ballora is basically a
Bitty
mini
Babs are
version
so
of Baby.
cute. I know.
When she appears, you hear her signature song playing, and your task is to find and click on 4 mini arenas around the camp system. Yeah, it's literally the same mechanic, though there can only be 1 mini arena on once per camera instead of 4 like the Biddy Babs. Lolbit will replace Mendo in the shop, increasing the cost of all the power-ups by up to 2 times their original price. She can't directly kill you, but the reason why she's so far up in the list is because if you don't get rid of her, you can pretty much say goodbye to buying power-ups, because they are really expensive. So if you take Lolbit, you have to use the death coin on her. That's not only 60 tokens, but also your only defense method against the more annoying animatronics. Now, I'm only considering 20 AI. If she's at a lower AI level, the power-ups would only be a few tokens more expensive and probably not that big of a deal. Funtime Freddy is similar to the original game, but you have to rely on both vision and hearing.
Check this out. Oh, come on.
When he spawns, you hear a sound cue, meaning he's entered either the left or right hallway. When he's there, you have to pay attention to whether or not Bonbon is on his hand. If Bonbon is there, that means he's attacking the side he's currently in. If Bonbon isn't there, then the attack is coming from the opposite side. Funtime Freddy will announce when his attack is about to happen, but be careful. You might be used to this Funtime Freddy instead. There's a big delay between the voice line and the actual attack, but in this game, it's right at the end of the voice line.
Let's give the birthday boy a big hug. Down.
One last thing I
Yo!
want to mention is that if you're uncertain of which side the attack is coming from, you can shut both doors to stall the attack and then check for the correct side. If you open the wrong door though, you'll get jump scared. And finally, the final character in Location 5, and in my opinion, the hardest character in the entire game, Funtime Foxy. Their mechanic is very similar to Ultimate Custom Night. You have showtimes you must attend to or else you get jump scared. In Cam 2, you'll find a sign displaying the upcoming showtime. This showtime can happen as soon as 12:30 AM, and once that exact time hits, if the right door isn't closed, you'll get jump scared. The next showtimes will always be at 15-second intervals, though this doesn't mean it's every 15 seconds. There's a delay after every showtime, and it can vary from 30 seconds to 2.5 minutes depending on the AI. The delay between showtimes has a slight variance, so it'll never be the same amount of time. Now, the mechanic itself doesn't sound too bad. The problem is that it's just forgettable as fuck. At least in UCN, the showtimes were always on the hour change, so it wasn't too bad. But in this game, it's got a lot more randomness to it. Combining this with the absolute chaos this game brings with so many different characters and their unique mechanics, dying due to forgetting the showtime is stupid easy. The best strat I can give you is to close the right door every 15 seconds. Having to check Chem 2 while dealing with everyone else can be really difficult, especially when you have the Phantoms and Mangle active. That concludes the sister location animatronics. Before we head into night 6, I want to mention the final minigame you can unlock. Well, not quite the final one, but you'll see what I mean. Just behind Funtime Foxy's stage, there's a door that leads to the private room. On the left closet, there's an arcade machine with the minigame Circus Sorter. In this minigame, your goal is to drag and drop the Biddy Babs to Baby and the Mini-Arenas to Ballora. If you mess this up, you'll get jump scared and game over. Beating the high score of this minigame doesn't award you a gift box, but you will unlock the minigame to be played during the night. Once you salvage all the animatronics and hit the quota, make sure to buy your last upgrades and head back to the entrance to begin night 6. The last night for the money ending doesn't have anything special. It's simply an extra night that's more difficult than the rest. I recommend playing on easy or medium for this ending because it can get seriously difficult if you're taking 3 or more animatronics per location. Aside from that, just use the strategy I taught earlier and you'll complete the night. Why is that door closed? Bro, my power, man. Wait, skip the night.
Yeah, beginner's luck.
Oh yeah.
He!
Kind of a bop?
Employee of the month. And we got the easy mode achievement. Oh yeah. Ending 404. Oh fuck.
Oh.
That's right. There's actually a 5th ending to this game, and it's the craziest ending I've ever seen in a FNAF game. But before we move over to do that, I want to talk about a 4th difficulty you can unlock, and it's not for the weak. Lunatic mode. You unlock this difficulty by beating any ending on hard mode. On Lunatic, you have to salvage at least 4 animatronics per location, with their AI levels reaching 20. The upgrade prices are higher, power drains faster, Balloon Boy is active for the first night, and he will always jump scare you if he gets in. Point is, only try this if you want to feel pain.
That's crazy.
Now, the bad news is that some trophies require you to play on Lunatic, with one of them requiring you to, I kid you not, be 30-20.
Hell no, man.
So if you want to 100% the game, you'll have to go through this challenge. If you just want to see all the endings, feel free to play on easy mode. This game is genuinely difficult, so don't feel ashamed of doing so. To achieve the 5th and final ending in FRICKBEARS 3, you basically have to get all 3 endings at once. What does that mean, you ask? You'll have to beat all minigames, get the high scores, give the gift boxes to the puppet and escape, salvage all the secret dangerous animatronics from each location, and buy the Talbot files, meaning less money for upgrades overall. For this ending, I'm gonna assume you're playing on the hardest difficulty, so we can make progress towards one of the hardest trophies of the game. For the first location, I recommend you take Golden Freddy, Wither Bonnie, Wither Foxy, and Wither Chica. They're some of the easiest characters in the game, and we get to avoid the 2 worst characters, Endo and Wither Freddy. As for upgrades, you can take whatever you like, but always prioritize things like Superfan, Overstock, Employee Discount, Mini Multiplier, and honestly, All Ears. It's a really underrated upgrade. If you've managed to get a lot of performance bonus, you can even work towards Spawn Killer. It'll make your life way easier. Oh, one last thing, consider buying backdoor trading. It's cheap, and if you're lucky, you might find Rodney, which basically means you'll take one last animatronic. Now, for night 2, just Defcoin Springtrap as soon as you can and farm as many tokens as possible. In the second location, you should take Toy Freddy, Toy Chica, JJ, and XQC. You can swap Toy Chica with Toy Bonnie, but honestly, I think it's better not to take too many vintage animatronics because it'll make things very chaotic later on. For the third night, Deathwing Spring Trap again and trap Lefty like I explained before. Make sure to pay attention to Shadow Bonnie's sound, and every time you go back to the office, make it a habit to always check for the cupcake. Aside from that, very chill night. The third location is probably the easiest one. Here, the best animatronics are Music Man, Mr. Hippo, Malhair, and Helpy. Though, personally I hate Helpy, so I'd take Phantoms instead. The night doesn't change much from the previous. It's basically night 3 but with some distractions and Hippo yapping the whole night. For the fourth location, just avoid Plush Trap and Nightmare Fredbear. This leaves Dreadbear, Twisted Wolf, Nightmare BB, and Nightmare Yawn. If you want crazy tech, you can avoid taking Rodney or Chipper until this last location, and only take them here. I'd replace Dreadbear and Twisted Wolf since they can be pretty difficult at 20 AI. And that concludes all the animatronics you gotta take for the ultimate ending. Thankfully, the game doesn't take you to sister locations, so you don't have to deal with those characters. Once you beat Night 5, you get a cutscene with Vanny, Michael, and the boss, and they're basically fighting over you to go for their ending. But while they're arguing, a voice in your head tells you to read what's inside the Talbot files. That voice being the puppet. Now, I'm no game theory or FNAF, so I'm just gonna skip through all this and... What the hell is that?
Poor Henry. He never did make it back to tell the tale. Hey, Fritz, buddy. What do you think you're doing here, huh? Come on, old pal. You know a little watchman like yourself shouldn't be sticking their nose in confidential company files. Why don't you just hand over that little old folder? Things can go on just as they should. Yeah? After all, I'm sure you wouldn't want to end up like Henry. You, aren't gonna give it back. Alright. Alright, I get it. I see what you're trying to do. You think, by collecting all of these artifacts, by bringing them all together in one place, you can save everyone, don't you? Free all those poor little souls, and destroy everything we've built up here in the process. Well, have you considered maybe things are better this way? Come on, Fritz. You see it too, don't you? They love it here. Those poor kids. Who knows what waits for them on the other side? Am I right? But here, they've got friends to make, games to play, smiles to bring. And somehow, you think that's a bad thing. You know what? Maybe you just don't have the right perspective on everything. Here, Fritz.
Why don't I show you?
That was so sick. That was so cool. I'm gonna be so honest, as I was watching the video, I forgot that I was in it. I was just so locked in that I forgot the reason I was watching this in the first place. Oh, that's so... I like the effect he put on the end.
Why don't I show you?
That's so cool. Oh, man. That's cool. That's cool. Oh my gosh. I can't even tell you how tempted I was to just peek at it earlier today when I saw the video came out, but I was like, no, I want to stream this so bad. If I didn't know, I would have thought the voice was just a part of the actual game. That means so much. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. That's like real. This is really cool. I forgot to say this earlier, but I feel like now's a good time to say it. But this is also part of the reason for the whole Tsunderic rebranding thing. Because I knew he was doing this, so I was like, I mean, if I'm going to rebrand it, I feel like now's the time, because if he's like, thanks to Joe Ride for this, then it'll have already been like ingrained. I feel like at that point it would have been too late, because what, all 11,000 people who've seen this would have just known Joe Ride. So I was like, I should just change it before this. Don't forget me when you become a huge voice actor. I won't. If that even ever happens. Can't be too sure. That was so cool.
Everyone.
I want to hear the effect at the end. That wasn't even. That's not even like. Like, he put an effect on that, and I still think it's the coolest part, even though it's not fully my voice.
Everything we've built up here in the process. Well, have you come on, Fritz. You're a kid.
Oh my, yap.
You know what? Maybe you just want everything. Here, Fritz.
Why don't I show you?
Okay, I'm gonna actually watch this video now. Good lord.
I do hate to do this.
Oh, there's more.
You were one of my favorites.
I forgot.
Hey, I think I know a way I can make it up to you. How about a little trip down memory lane?
Jesus Christ, how much is there? I don't even remember how much I had to do. It was a while ago, because I mean, like, look at this. There's another hour in this video. He spent a while on this video. Like this video was not easy to make. So I understand why, but it just it caused me to lose some of my recollection of this. I think that's all.
The Psycho Faux
Yeah.
Fredbear boss fight. This boss fight is an insane 20-round fight with a 2-minute survival section at the end. You begin with 4
That
lives,
model is
and
so
each 5
cool.
minigames you complete, things get faster. In
Like
each of these
WarioWare.
rounds, you play some sort of minigame of Fredbear. There are 20 possible minigames you can get, some being actual minigames we've played before, and other being from things we've done in the game, like closing ads, pulling wires, typing numbers on a keypad. You get the idea. I'm not gonna go over the obvious minigames because I think you can figure it out yourself. I mean, I don't want to waste time saying stuff like,
That was
"In this
so
minigame,
awesome.
you
I
put on a
know.
mask."
I'm
Like, there's no point.
that's so
I'll go
cool.
over 5 of the minigames: quiz, type, pick me, find me, and input. Quiz is, like the name implies, a quiz. Crazy, I know. Basically, Fredbear will give you a question and you have to pick the right answer, like Balloon Boy did in Location 2. There are actually only 2 questions you can get, and their answers are pretty simple. The first question is spell my name, which is more of a request than a question, but whatever.
That's so cool. I'm just gonna replay that part over and over again.
All you have to do is select the answer Fredbear. It's
Once
not
I'm done with
Fredbear
this.
or Fredbear. The second question is how many micro games have you cleared? This one is a bit more tricky. You have to pay attention to how many minigames you've played so far. Luckily, during the transition between minigames, you can see the number at the top, so always keep an eye on that. Type requires you to type what's being displayed in the text box. There are 15 different names you can type in here, though they are divided into 3 groups. Group 1 is for the base difficulty of the minigame. Group 2 is for the first speed up, and Group 3 for the second speed up. Essentially, the names get longer and harder to type the deeper you are in the boss fight. The Pick Me minigame is pretty interesting. If you looked around the extras menu after beating the game the first time, you probably stumbled upon the character gallery. There you can see all the characters in the game, their models, descriptions, and even a special developer note for each of them. In this minigame, you're thrown in that menu, and you have to find the FRICKBEAR icon in the middle of a bunch of other characters. If you take too long or click the wrong one, you will lose a life. Find Me is the
I love the design for
hardest minigame
Lolbit.
to get used to at first. You will lose a life. Of a bunch of other characters. If you take too
Look at that.
long or click the wrong one, you will lose a life. Find Me is the hardest minigame to get used to at first. When you get this minigame, you're thrown in a room with a bunch of FRICKBEARS, and you have to find the real one. The issue is, they all look the same. What the fuck? But if you look closer, there are actually some sneaky differences on all of them. The main thing you're scanning for are the eyes, the bow tie, the buttons, and the stars on his jacket. If he has all those things, that's the real one. If he's missing even one of those traits, then it's a fake one. Input is the keypad minigame I was just talking about. Here, you'll have to input on this
57.
keypad the numbers listed below. On the base difficulty, you only have to input 3 numbers. On the first speed up, 5 numbers. And on the second speed up, this changes completely, requiring you to input the sum of 2
63?
random numbers.
What's 9 plus 10?
21?
You stupid.
That design is so cool.
There's not much I can do to help you on this one. You're gonna have to do quick maths. And that wraps up the minigames. Once you make it to level 20, you get the boss stage, where you have to survive a 2-minute night with everyone you salvaged thus far and FRICKBEAR. FRICKBEAR has 4 attacks he can do. Mash, where you gotta mash the door he's at, just like the salvage fight. Scare Away, where you have to shine your lights at the little FRICKBEARs, just like in the Nightmare boss fights. Shock, where the lights will go out and you have to find and shock FRICKBEAR in cams. And lastly, Close, which is just like the helping minigame you get during the fight. The strategy for this night is just to sit in the office and live. I did this ending on Lunatic difficulty, and I didn't even have to place a lure on Lefty or flash Springtrap away before the night ended, so I'm assuming you're also going to be okay for those characters. Now, if you took Toy Freddy and Chipper, you'll have to boot up a quick game of Fred Sweeper. Though, one thing I didn't mention is that any leftover lives you had during the mini-games will cross over to this section, essentially acting as bear traps to help you close out the fight. If you want, you can use those lives to tank Toy Freddy and Chipper and win, since playing Fred Sweeper during the final moments of a long boss fight can be tricky. Aside from that, you shouldn't have much trouble during this last segment. If you took all the characters I mentioned during the build up to this, even on Lunatic, the fight won't be that bad. Yes!
Oh my god, I get the lead.
Shut
Thank
the
god.
fuck up, Rodney!
That was...
Oh my god, I get the lead.
Shut
Thank
the
god.
fuck up, Rodney! And just like that, the entire game is covered. From all 47 animatronics to all the endings and how to beat them. But don't go closing the video yet, we still have a lot more to go. Once you beat the game for the first time...
Now, that is a nice guide you have going, Luffuu. However, there are still a few things that viewers would
is
probably
this?
be interested in knowing. Hey, it's me, Tomato25. You might know me because of my other guides on my YouTube.
Okay. Is there a reason that every FNAF YouTuber has 25 in their name? Frogger 25, Toter 25, Shooter 25. Ugh. But like, you get what I'm saying. The Tomato 25.
Channel. Now, the reason you're seeing me here is because my focus is a little different for this video. While Luffuu covered the gameplay side of things, I'm going to be talking about the history of the series, while also explaining some cool little secrets inside of the game. Now, why is this relevant? Well, to show you how Spooky Rick has developed FRICKBEARS over the years before getting his huge name inside of the community. Now, this game is called FRICKBEARS 3, meaning before the release of
They
this
were
game,
all born in 2025. Oh.
other games inside of the past.
Okay,
These first
that
two
makes
games
sense.
were actually on Scratch. Yes, the website used for kids learning to code and understand coding as a whole using blocks you can put together. Now, to answer your question of what made these two first games way different from the third popularity-wise, well, the answer to that question is simple: the art style. Yes, you heard that right. The art style is what made the third game different from the first two. The gameplay did as well because, of course, it's amazing. However, I'll get onto that in 1 second. See, if you compared screenshots from all three games side by side, it's actually pretty easy to see the evolution. FRICKBEARS 1 uses almost entirely black and white visuals. The environments are simple, the characters are simplistic, and the game clearly reflects its Scratch origins. FRICKBEARS 2 begins experimenting a little more, introducing red highlights throughout the game. This gives it a much stronger identity, and makes certain scenes stand out more dramatically. Then FRICKBEARS 3 completely changes direction. The game introduces fully colored environments, redesigned characters, detailed backgrounds, animated cutscenes, and even a mix of 2D and 3D visuals. The first two FRICKBEARS games were made using the Scratch engine, so seeing Five Nights at Freddy's fan games becoming popular on that website was very unusual. Spooky Rick knew this, and he eventually left Scratch behind and
The first
created
games
a
are so
full-fledged fan
dorky.
game using Game Maker Studio. That jump in
Yeah,
quality,
but it's like endearing. Like, I like the little model for Bonnie. Where'd it go? I can't find it, but
behind and created a full-fledged fan game using Game Maker Studio. That jump in quality is one of the biggest reasons FRICKBEARS 3 managed to attract a much wider audience. He even called his first two games crummy compared to the standards he has now. So since FRICKBEARS 3 was a huge hit, Spooky Rick as of today is currently focusing on this game in order to feed the loyal fanbase who are eager for any updates. Now, since we have the development history out of the way, it's kinda weird to me since FRICKBEARS 3 has a standalone story. So, you really don't need to play the first two games to understand the plot. But since I mainly am focusing on what happened before FRICKBEARS 3, I think it would still be helpful to tell you. Just to give you a comparison of how Spooky Rick thought back then compared to how he thinks now. FRICKBEARS 1 released on February 18th, 2020, and what's funny about FRICKBEARS 1 is how ridiculous the entire setup is. See, most horror games start with some deep mystery or supernatural event, while FRICKBEARS 1 starts because Billy wants a Family Guy DVD box set.
is this Danganronpa music?
That's the starts because horror games how FRICKBEARS 1 is how ridiculous the entire setup is. See, most horror
Oh
games
my
start
god,
with
it
some
totally
deep mystery or
is.
supernatural event.
I mean, Luffuu is like very much into Danganronpa. I mean, he made the Danganronpa reference earlier. His whole channel is his mascot is Junko. I don't think he's ever played Danganronpa on this channel though. But like, he's a very very big Danganronpa fan, it would appear. So, let's see. This is Steam profile. $103 hours on Geometry Dash. Dog, are we for real? Can't you just open this in Steam? Do we gotta do all this? Just... Okay, it's at least gonna make me sign in. I don't really think there's much I can do about that. Uh, 2FA. Sorry, this is just derailing. I'm just trying to see if he's a LARP. Which I don't think he is. He's talked about Danganronpa in his streams before. And he's used Danganronpa as comparison. And he plays Danganronpa music in his videos. So something tells me he's probably not. Let's see. Danganronpa games are around like the 40-hour mark all the way down to like the 20-ish hour mark. 11 hours on Trigger Happy Havoc. I think that's it. I mean, I still wouldn't really call him a LARP, I guess. Because, to be fair, a lot of the games that I like, I've never played. I've just watched other people play them. And he has the other two in his Steam library. So, big ass gif of Jackie on his Steam profile. I don't know who that is. Bro, is Junko? Yeah, literally. But safe to say he likes Danganronpa.
While FRICKBEARS 1 starts because Billy wants a family guy.
I can't believe I didn't realize.
That's it. That's the motivation for the entire game. So he gets a job at Freddy FRICKBEARS Pizza, expecting an easy paycheck. Instead, he spends 5 nights fighting off monsters animatronics, survives everything the restaurant throws at him, and then discovers that his boss,
the character
doesn't
from
even
Goodbye
want to pay him.
Despair. I haven't played Goodbye Despair.
Turns out to be Wario.
And
Wario
with
would rather
PFP.
try and kill him
Ah.
and hand over the money he earned. He ends up surviving
see.
against him, and he ends up getting his money and buys the box set. But this leads up to the story of FRICKBEARS 2, which adds the salvaging mechanic, where the player is tasked with salvaging an animatronic after each night, enabling you to play the game as much as possible to show what every animatronic can do. One of the strangest decisions in the entire series is that FRICKBEARS 2 turns the previous game's villain into the main character. Wario was the final threat in FRICKBEARS 1, yet now you are controlling him. After Wario got out of jail, he's attempting to regain control of the establishment, which gives the sequel a very different feeling compared to the original. By the time FRICKBEARS 3 entered development, Spooky Rick had learned a lot from the first 2 games. The salvaging mechanic introduced in FRICKBEARS 2 returned in a much larger form in FRICKBEARS
I like that
3.
Withered Bonnie speaks Spanish even in the second
salvaging
game.
mechanic introduced in FRICKBEARS 2 returned in a much larger form in FRICKBEARS 3. The storytelling becomes more ambitious, multiple endings were added, and you could choose different night guards. The game was no longer a small scratch fan game. It had become a full-scale FNAF fan game project capable of standing alongside of the most well-known fan games in the community. Speaking of interesting facts,
I think maybe it's just because my mind is thinking about it, but it seems like the in-between salvage sections are pretty heavily inspired by Danganronpa with the way the characters are in the environments and like
alongside of the most well-known fan games
look at that crosshair
in the community. Speaking of interesting facts, FRICKBEARS 3 actually contains a hidden command panel that many players never discovered. By pressing Ctrl F12, a secret developer-style interface appears, which allows you to type some commands which you can use to debug custom guard dialogue. Most casual players will finish the game without ever knowing this exists. It's one of the several hidden features scattered throughout FRICKBEARS 3 that shows just how much extra content Spooky Rick adds when requested from the fans of the game. Here on screen you can see some commands that warp you to specific dialogue scenes in the parking lot, with the number value being the night. These commands warp you to the salvage locations and extras menus without needing to unlock them yourselves. Now, bear in mind that using these commands could mess with your save data and unlock things prematurely, so the developer recommends doing these on a completed save file, or keeping a backup of one
It's
of your
11-11.
old ones to restore it. Now, there are some FRICKBEARS facts that did not make it to the final game that some is not shown anywhere, so I thought I would just mention it before I leave. Although it is not confirmed, looking at early photos of FRICKBEARS 3, it seems to follow a similar color scheme to FRICKBEARS 2. Of course, this was changed in the final release. Candy was supposed to have a similar threat to Springtrap. He was supposed to travel down the right hallway, and when he got to your door, you'd have to control shock him, which of course was replaced with the mechanic he has today. There was going to be a 6-hour mode that was a joke, so of course it did not make it into the final release. There was going to be an enemy Pickles inside of the game, and of course Rick made this as a joke. All of the presets in the cutscene used to be 6 minutes long.
Major
Instead,
wish,
the
me
nights
too.
They have now, like 2 minutes and 3 minutes. Well, this concludes my time for this video, as I do not really think I have any more things to say. Well, of course, if you liked my part, at least you can check out my YouTube channel if you want. However, other than that, subscribe
Loki?
to Luffuu and check out for
Loki, I will.
FRICKBEARS 3. Alright, now back to you, Luffuu.
Thanks, I guess? Anyway, like I was saying, once you beat the game for the first time, you unlock the extras menu. Here you get to see a lot of things. Concept art, replay all the minigames, stats on your journey, all the songs so you can jam out, trophies, replay the credits, rematch against all the bosses, take a look at all the characters and their design. God damn! Sorry. Anyway, there's so much to do here, but the tab I'm more interested in is the trophies tab. Here we have 47 total trophies to unlock. But wait, it says 42 there. Yeah, don't worry, you'll see. We can separate all the trophies into 5 categories: bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and forbidden. There are 14 bronze trophies, and like the category implies, they're the easiest ones to get. Somewhat. The first trophy is beat the game on easy difficulty. You might already have this, but if you don't, that means you've never played on easy mode. It's kinda dumb, but to get this trophy, you have to beat the game on easy. Even if you did Lunatic just now, you still won't have this trophy. Now, these next trophies are all about the minigames we've unlocked. The first one being, beat Fred Sweeper in 15 seconds or less. This isn't anything crazy, you probably already have this, but in case you don't, I'll teach you a quick cheese. During the night, you can actually cheese Fred Sweeper and beat it in 1 second. How's that possible, you ask? Basically, we're gonna do something called pause counting. What you're gonna do is click on the first square and pause the game. Now you can scan the minefield and think about your next move, but since the game is paused, you're not spending any time on this. Make the next click and immediately pause the game again. Then just repeat this over and over until you cleared all empty squares. Easy game. The second trophy is get a score of 30 or higher on Air Adventure. I got nothing for this one, just get good. The third trophy is get a combo of 150 or greater in Chomping with Chica. Also a get good kind of trophy, just make sure to actually get combo. It's not just 150 points, you actually have to hit 150 pizzas in a row. The fourth trophy is get a score of 30 or higher in 30 seconds or less in Puppet Patrol. For this one, the best tip I can give is to memorize more than one kid when the light beam passes by. So if Puppet requests the color you got memorized, you can instantly click that kid without having to shine the light. Also, this goes without saying, but you should always click the crying childs whenever you see them. The fifth trophy is beat hair pairs in 25 seconds or less. To get this, just spam matches and hope to not game over. Not much to be done here. The next trophy is get a score of 80 or higher in Pirate Plunder. This one sounds like a nightmare, but it's easier than it seems. All you have to do is make 2 trips of 40 gold. Think of it as if you had to beat the minigame score twice in a row. Just be patient and you should be able to get this trophy. The 7th trophy is get a score of 128 or higher on Circus Sorter. Another get good type of trophy. Just lock in. Now, this next trophy is in my opinion the hardest out of all bronze trophies. Get a score of 50 or higher in Mangle Tangle Mania. Playing this minigame alone is enough of a challenge. Getting 50 points of score is just ridiculous. The most important strat you should know is to always zigzag to save some space. At the beginning you can just bolt straight to the gears, but later on when your body's massive, make sure to zigzag as much as possible. Thankfully, as a contrast to this insane trophy,
massive.
we have the easiest bronze trophy in the game. Destroy the cupcake and cupcake clicker. Just spam away, easy peasy. Our 10th trophy is get a jackpot worth 40 tokens or more in Scott slots. This one, just gamba away. The 11th trophy is beat Golden Fred Sweeper. Wait, what's Golden Fred Sweeper? Remember when I said Circus Sorter was the final minigame? But not quite? Yeah, after unlocking all minigames, you get a bonus one called Golden Fred Sweeper. It's quite literally Fred Sweeper, but the field is massive. To beat this, all you need is patience. Take your time and think as much as you need. I should have mentioned this before, but you can get all these trophies by playing the minigames within the extras menu. You don't need to play Golden Fred Sweeper during a night, don't worry. The second to last bronze trophy is End a Night Mid Jump Scare. To get this, we're going to use the help of the Custom Night. Go into the Custom Night menu and turn on Mangle a 20 AI. Set the night to 1 minute and wait until 5:58. When that time hits, switch to Mangle's cam and you should get jump scared as the night ends. Easy trophy. And the last bronze trophy, salvage a guest animatronic. I mean, you know what to do. Now, onto the silver category.
This is taking
Here
on
we
for
have
2.
14 more trophies. Though, I wouldn't be surprised if you have at least half of these already.
And that's
the first trophy is
it's the best thing in Rampa
beat the
1.
game on normal difficulty. I assume you already have this, but if not, just get in there and beat the game as Mike. It's not
God,
that
this
bad.
song is so
The
good.
next trophy is get the slacker ending. Well, we just did the ultimate ending, so you definitely have this. The third silver trophy is beat 5 custom night challenges without using any power-ups. This trophy is pretty easy to obtain, but I haven't gotten to the custom night challenges yet, so I'll leave that for later. Our fourth trophy is have a snow cone, an AR mask, and laser doors all active at the same time. You might have unlocked this one on accident, but if not, you can quickly do that on a custom night. This next trophy I already covered before, but just a quick TLDR, you want to buy a golden cupcake at the start, then use at least one rewind clock so you have enough time for the cupcake to reach 55 tokens. The next achievement is buy the pickles, we already did that. And the next trophy is Def Coin Funtime Chica, which I also covered. The 8th trophy is unlock every minigame, which you should have as long as you enter the minigames
Can
tab
barely
and
hear the
unlock Golden Fred
songs.
Sweeper.
Sorry.
The 9th trophy is earn $300 or more over the cursor.
Video's kind of quiet.
Tips on how to earn as much performance
stream,
bonus
I
as
think.
possible, or doing something like
But
a
it's
money
the-
game on
yeah,
Luffuu,
investigation
where you salvage
music.
a ton of animatronics, you should get this no problem. Now, the 10th trophy is a bit more interesting. You need to run on hard difficulty or higher without buying any upgrades, not counting Talbert's files. Is this difficult? No, but not having upgrades like all ears or any of the token upgrades can make things more grindy. Obviously, I don't recommend you do this on Lunatic. Just go in as Vanessa and go for the slacker ending. There aren't any tips I can really give here other than just play the game the way I taught you back in night 2 of the first ending. This challenge sounds scary at first, but when you go in, you'll see that upgrades aren't actually as impactful as you think. The next trophy is, you know if you beat it even faster, you get to see Freddy in a bikini. Wait, what? This trophy requires you to finish a run in 20 minutes or less. Now, you're probably mathing it out in your head and thinking, well, if I use 2 distortion clocks each night, that's 4 minutes times 5 equals 20. How is this possible? The trick here is Mimic Ball and Overstock. Basically, head into Easy Mode, and if you haven't unlocked the Easy Mode trophy, you can do it here for a 2-for-1 special. Head into Easy Mode, and as soon as the night begins, start Fred sweeping. You should have at least 123 tokens by 3 AM, so you can buy both clocks and a Mimic Ball, beating night 1 in just 3 minutes. During the salvage section, you actually want to take Endo. Why? Because he's not really a threat as long as you don't use the flashlight, which you won't. Now, if you're really good with your Fred sweeping and got some performance bonus, you might be able to buy Overstock in the very first location. If not, it's okay, just head back to the entrance and start night 2. Though, before we go, I want to teach you a little bit of movement tech during salvaging. In this game, if you run diagonally in any direction, you'll actually move twice as fast as if you were to be holding just W or S. If you're into the speedrunning community, you might have seen this clip.
I've never seen a 113 and I never fucking will. 112, baby, to the day I fucking die. Yes! About time I get a fucking lucky break in this fucking game, motherfuckers, and I clutch the goddamn grenade launcher. That's fucking right!
I'm so curious as to what prompted this reaction.
Right here, it's this one. My insane pace. Right here, this is the 112. Right here, yes! It's fucking it.
First of all, this clip is legendary. But second, you see the way he's moving? Always diagonally. What's happening here is that when you input the move forward button, the game is adding speed to the player so you can move. And the same happens if you press left or right. But if you hold move forwards and left or right, the game adds speed for both those inputs, essentially giving you double the speed. If you don't believe me, here's a direct comparison of moving forwards with just the W key and with another direction key pressed. But anyway, there's not much else to be said about this trophy. For night 2, keep Fred sweeping and skip the last 3 minutes. In the second location, take Toy Freddy since he's free, check for overstock, buy it so you can now buy 3 distortion clocks and Mimic, skipping 4 minutes instead. Location 3, take Phantoms or Glitch Trap. Location 4, take Twisted Wolf, and GG. Speedrun successfully speedran. The next trophy is salvage all 24 regular animatronics. To get this, you have to salvage all animatronics that aren't either guest animatronics, secret evil ending animatronics, or the sister location ones. Now, this next trophy you definitely have. Die to a single animatronic 10 times. At least for me, I'm not even trying to throw shade at you. Like, at least for me, as soon as I took Wither Freddy, this trophy was unlocked within the same run. And the last silver trophy, hear all of Upgrade Cadet's stories. You might have noticed that there's a tell a story option in Upgrade Cadet's shop. If you select it, it'll tell you a story for the low price of $2.50. There are 4 stories, but you can only hear 1 story per location. Just make sure to hear a story in each location and you can get this in just 1 playthrough. Now onto the gold category. There are only 7 golden trophies, but obviously these are much harder to obtain.
Golden trophy mention.
It's not that bad actually. The first 4 trophies are for beating the game on hard and
It looks like
it's not that bad actually. The first 4
that little icon looks like a puffin from Club Penguin.
Trophies are for beating the game on hard and beating the game while getting the evil, good, and money endings respectively. The 4th one is clear 10 custom night challenges without the death coin. Another custom night related trophy that I'll cover later. The second to last trophy is unlock all 47 animatronics. I already explained how to obtain all of them, so just do that. The last golden trophy is die to every character who can kill you at least once. Again, you can use the custom night for this, except for 1 character, Felix.
Oh right.
Sorry, kid. Nothing personal.
Remember how he jump scares you if you end the night at deaths? Yeah, that actually counts for this trophy. Finally, let's talk about the big boy trophies, the platinum category. This is the last row of trophies that you can see. Soon enough, I'll show you there's actually more to this list than it shows. The first platinum trophy is beat the game on lunatic difficulty. If you haven't done this already, just follow the tips I gave throughout the ultimate ending and you can beat any ending on that difficulty. And speaking of ultimate ending, the second trophy is get the ultimate ending. I've already covered this, so just follow that. The third trophy is clear every custom night challenge, which again, I'll get to very soon. The fourth trophy is also custom night related, but the fifth one, I'd say is the hardest trophy in the game. From the 42 you can see on the screen, just to be clear. Beat a run with the maximum possible amount of animatronics salvaged. What this means is, you have to salvage all secret animatronics and the sister location ones. But to get the maximum amount, you also have to play on Lunatic. That is 5 locations taking 5 animatronics in the first 4 and 4 in the last one. Adding to the 6 characters that come from the first night, that's in total 30 animatronics active at once. And since you're on Lunatic, they're all gonna be at 20 AI. This trophy is no joke, but luckily we can still choose who to take here. Well, with so many animatronics, it's probably better for me to tell you who to not take. Those are Wither Freddy and Endo, Mangle and Shadow Bonnie, Shadow Freddy and Helpy, Plushtrap and Nightmare Fredbear, and lastly, Lolbit and Funtime Foxy. Avoid all those animatronics while building up to night 6. As for upgrades, I actually recommend taking Head Start and Backdoor Trading. Head Start is nice so you can have 15 seconds to find and catch all the Biddy Babs, or even speedrun a Fred Sweeper to immediately Deathcoin Springtrap. Backdoor Trading is actually huge here because you can take either Chipper or Rodney in the place of a sister location animatronic. So when you get to location 5, I highly advise swapping out Funtime Freddy with one of the 2 guest characters I just mentioned. If you didn't get them, you can actually just quit and reload the save and the guest animatronic will be re-rolled. During the night, start by immediately catching all the Biddy Baps. Not only does this just get rid of Baby completely, but you also get 20 tokens for free. Then trap Lefty and start playing Fred Sweeper. If you have Overstock and Funtime Freddy's in the roster, def coin him as well. After getting past the setup, you're left with mostly office characters. So what you can do here is play some Fred Sweeper until you have enough tokens to buy the AR mask and laser doors. And while they're active, you work towards another. With Overstock, this night becomes a joke. You can use those 2 items at 1 minute, then at 2 minutes, then at 3 minutes, then double distortion clock the last 2 hours. Essentially making this a 1 minute night. Pretty awesome, right? The second to last trophy is unlock every character in the extras menu's character gallery. If you've been following everything up until now, you should have this trophy. But just a quick TLDR of how to get this, you need all endings, beat the game in every difficulty, collect all animatronics, and get jump scared by Funtime Chica and Felix. And now for the last platinum trophy in the game, Into Madness. Get every ending on Lunatic difficulty. This trophy isn't as bad as it sounds. I've already explained how to get the ultimate ending and the money ending with the maximum amount of animatronics. All that's left is the good and evil endings. The good ending swaps out all the animatronics for the nightmare ones, so it's not that difficult. And for the evil ending, all you gotta do is cheese salvage like I explained before. So there isn't much I can really talk about here. All I can do is wish you the best of luck. You got this. And that's all 42 trophies in FRICKBEARS 3. Once you unlock them, you actually get awarded with 1 extra trophy, 100% the game. This reveals a secret row of red trophies you can get, the Forbidden Trophies. There are 5 Forbidden Trophies, and I'll be completely honest here, I'll go over all of them, but actually getting them takes a lot of skill. In fact, by the time I'm recording this, nobody has gotten all of them without some form of cheating. The first one I just showed, but the second one is beat a run with 30 animatronics salvaged and 0 upgrades, aside from Talbert's files, purchased. To get this trophy, you pretty much have to do exactly what I explained for the Maximalist trophy, but you can't use any upgrades. No head start to help you set up at the beginning, no overstock so you only get 2 hours of absolute safety, no all ears so you can hear things through the mask. Yeah, it's rough. If you can avoid taking Funtime Freddy, make sure to do it because in my experience, he's the main threat of this night. Aside from that, you can just stay in the office and try to survive until 2 AM. Since there will be a lot of vent and door characters attacking, you can farm a decent amount of tokens just by living. When 2 AM hits, buy the AR mask and laser doors and immediately start playing Fred Sweeper. At 3 AM, use another set of mask and doors, and finally at 4 AM, you buy both clocks and win. This is very much easier said than done, but with enough practice, you should be able to get this done. The next trophy is beat a run on Lunatic difficulty without dying. This one's a lot easier than it looks. For this trophy, you can just do the slacker ending. Buy as many upgrades as you need and just beat the game. You shouldn't have much trouble until night 5, so I recommend buying a bear trap as soon as possible, just to make sure. Also, if you can avoid it, don't take Twisted Wolf. His disc hitbox can be a little troll. The second to last Forbidden Trophy is clear all 20 custom night challenges without using any power-ups. Basically, you can't purchase anything in Mendo's shop, but like all the other custom night based trophies, I'll explain it when we get there. And the last Forbidden Trophy, and also the one trophy in the game no one has.
Next video idea.
Inferno 47.
Yeah, for sure.
Beat max mode. That's right, 4720. I don't think I need to say that this is the hardest trophy in the game. Doing just 30-20 is already one hell of a challenge, and that's missing 17 characters.
Well,
now, I haven't got a clue how to do this, but I know someone that does, though I'll wait until the end of the custom night segment.
Yeah, it's verified.
And speaking of custom night, here we are, the custom night menu. Like every other custom night in any FNAF game / fan game,
That's so many challenges.
You can customize the AI levels of all the animatronics in the game and create your own challenge to beat. Or alternatively, you can select the challenges tab and play some presets made by the developers. There are 20 challenge presets in total, with some of them being easy, some of them being gimmicky, and some of them being extremely hard. The first preset is called Rabbit Season, and like the name implies, we're hunting rabbits. Or rather, getting hunted by them. The only real threat here is Springtrap. Just sit in the office and listen carefully for his movement sound. When he moves, get in cams, push him back, and go back to the office. Just don't forget that plush trap appears every flip down of the camera. The second preset is called Window Watchers, and it's probably the easiest preset in the game. The only time you have to flip up the camera is to reset the music box. Other than that, just sit in the office and keep everyone away as they appear. For the third preset, Era of 87, we're actually gonna open the game tab for once. Since Toy Freddy is active, you have to beat his score in the game. The hardest part of this night is the very beginning, because you have to play a minigame while Wither Freddy is active. Thankfully, as soon as you complete that, you can just AFK in the office for the rest of the night. The fourth preset is called Ladies Night, and you might notice something odd on the AI levels. The phantoms are on SP instead of a number from 0 to 20. To put it simply, some animatronics have a custom night exclusive SP version that either completely changes their mechanic or makes it insanely difficult. In the case of the phantoms, this version does literally nothing. I'm not kidding, if you go into a night with SP phantoms, you will not notice a thing. However, in the challenge Ladies Night, it makes it so only the ladies appear. Yeah, that's literally what it does. You shouldn't take SP seriously, like most of them are really meme. As for the night itself, start by catching all the Biddy Babs, but make sure to look at the sticky note and avoid Mangle's cam. After that, check for Funtime Foxy's showtime and wait in the office until 4 minutes. At this point, Lefty should be in the spot where you can trap them. Don't bother trying to push Lefty into place with the lure because that's just completely RNG and most of the times, this is gonna happen. He ran the hell? Wait. Unlucky. That's literally just a reset moments. Like, what the fuck? The fifth preset is Old Friends. The main threat here is Nightmare Fredbear. At 20 AI, you should always keep your temperature below 5 bars, otherwise Fredbear will try to kill you. You might have noticed that this preset barely needs the use of cams. Only the puppet will require you to flip up the camera. Just leave your camera on Puppet's room and sit in the office. Mangle won't be a problem because she can't appear on the camera you last were. Lastly, pay attention to the window when flashing Shadow Bonnie away since Endo is active. Beating this challenge without any power-ups will award you that trophy I just spoke about earlier. The next challenge is New Friends, and it's significantly harder than the previous one. We have Shadow Freddy, Plush Trap, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, Popgoes, all the hard characters are here. Luckily, the night is only 3 minutes, otherwise this would be easily like top 3 hardest presets in the game. For this night, you want to quickly catch all the Biddy Babs and sit in the office. For Funtime Foxy, we're gonna have to close the door just before every 15-second interval. If you've done GMB cycles in UCN, this is basically that, except instead of turning on GMB or Power Gen plus fan, you're only closing the right door. Funtime Freddy and Popgoes will be the biggest pain here, since there's nothing we can do to avoid actually playing their mechanics. Just sit in the office and listen for Funtime Freddy's spawn cue. Once he spawns, quickly check if he has Bonbon or not, and then check which cam Popgoes is going into. Now, just wait in the office and listen for Popgo's movement sound. To which will respond by shocking his camera. You might be wondering why we're not playing a minigame to buy Chipper's lumber. And the answer is, we don't need
that
to.
reference.
Fending off Baby will already give you 20 tokens, and as the night goes on, blocking JJ, Funtime Freddy, and others will eventually add up to 30, and once you get there, you can buy the lumber. And that's about it. If candy turns out to be an issue, all you have to remember is that once the ticking starts, he'll attack in the next 10-second interval, with the next attacks offsetting this by 1 second. If you keep that in mind, he won't be that much trouble.
Hey, offsets.
Up next we have Even a Bear. This is another one of those 30-second nights, as in the first 30 seconds are the hardest challenge. If you can get rid of Toy Freddy while avoiding Wither Freddy and Nightmare Fredbear, you get to just sit in the office for the rest of the night, only flipping up the camera to occasionally check on Funtime Freddy. Let's speed this up since there's still 13 challenges left. The second coming is more of the same. Play one minigame to get rid of Toy Freddy, trap Lefty, and just sit in the office, listening for Springtrap's movements and for Scrap Baby's sound effects. Blind mode is another gimmick preset. For this one we have BB and Shadow Freddy on SP mode. BB is basically permanently in the office and so is Shadow Freddy, meaning you can't see anything and can't use the flashlight. Luckily, no one in this roster requires vision, so just sit in the office until Sparky or Scrap Baby appear. Deafening is yet another gimmick level, and this one removes your hearing instead of vision. Music Man's SP change literally mutes all audio, so you're only relying on what you see for this one. The best way I found to beat this is to every 5 seconds check the left and
Infernal 47 on with all of them on SP mode would literally be impossible,
right
right?
hallways for Freddy and Springtrap. If you see Freddy
Because you
peeking out,
literally couldn't see or hear anything.
wait about 3 seconds and shut the door, staring at the token count to see
It would be like doing True Nightmare all challenges with no
if it
audio.
goes up. Once it does,
Except you don't even
that means
have
you're good to
the
reopen
power
that door.
mode.
Just make sure to scan the office
use your
every time you flip
flashlight.
down the camera, since Toy Chica might spawn. For BB and JJ, you can just look for their eyes in the vents, and Scrap Baby and Dreadbear have visual cues to help you out. If you beat every challenge until now without the use of the Def Coin, you'll be awarded with the Pacifist Run trophy. Watchful Eye is straight up camping in cams the game. Glitch Trap is on SP mode, and what it does
gotta
is it
test
changes
out
the amount of
SP
fits
mode.
you have to 1.
Probably.
So at the start of the night, flip up
I
the camera
probably
and never
will.
flip it down again. Since you're permanently in cams, you have
Unless
to
you have
constantly
to like literally do all the like crazy hard stuff to unlock the custom night. Then I probably won't.
keep track of Pop Goes, Funtime Foxy, and Springtrap. Toy Freddy, Lefty, and Circus Baby are all dealt with in the setup phase of this night, but the previous 3 will require memory. Gaming Hard is probably one of the most fun presets of the game. Toy Freddy is the only character, and his SP mechanic makes it so you have to beat 8 of his high scores before completing the night. Power doesn't drain here, nor does temperature go up, so start gaming. Paddleball Panic is basically Coffee Night. Coffee's SP mechanic makes the night 2 minutes, but during those minutes, Coffee is always active, and as time goes by, his game gets faster and faster. The goal is to survive his game without powering out. Helpy will appear as a distraction, and if you do fail Coffee's game, Foxy's active at 1 AI just to strike you down. The General's challenge is Anim Dude's night. For this one, Anim Dude is on SP, which makes you play through 15 levels straight while only having 1 life. Just lock in and you should get this after a couple tries. Chipper's Revenge is a funny one. Chipper's SP mode makes his lumber go from 30 to 300 tokens. As for Lolbit, I don't really know why she's active because the lumber price doesn't change at all. If you're doing this with power-ups, don't forget to buy golden cupcakes. If not, start Fred sweeping, buddy. Minute to win it is what I like to call the animatronic mechanic gauntlet. You have exactly 1 minute to beat Toy Freddy's score, find all 20 Biddy-Babs, beat Coffee's
like,
and Anim Dude's game,
the
buy Chipper's
challenge
lumber in the shop,
from Recode.
and find all 4 of Ballora's mini-arenas, all while completely in the dark. I recommend focusing on Anim Dude's game first, then finding Biddy-Babs and mini-arenas while playing Coffee's game. Once you get all of them, rush a Fred Sweeper and end the night with buying the lumber. The Laws Hacks Shuffle is basically just RNG. Laws Hacks is the only animatronic active and on SP difficulty. You'll basically add 3 random animatronics every hour, totaling 18 characters you have to deal with at 5 AM. There's not much of a strategy here, unfortunately. You kinda just have to pray you don't get Funtime Foxy or any of the bad animatronics. And now we've reached the big 3. Demo Demons, Full Game Fiends, and a bit of everything. Demo Demons is essentially the top half of the characters, all at once and at 20 AI. This preset, especially without power-ups, is ridiculously difficult. On this preset, we have 4 big bads: Endo, Mangle, Wither Freddy, and Shadow Freddy. Endo is a big threat because of Shadow Bonnie and Springtrap. Mangle is a threat because of Springtrap and the Marionettes. Wither Freddy is Wither Freddy, and Shadow Freddy just makes everything so much worse. When the night starts, beat Fred Sweeper as fast as you can to get rid of Toy Freddy. Then, stay in the office until the puppet gives you a warning. What we're gonna do here is sync the puppet with Springtrap. Every time the warning appears, you're gonna reset the music box and push back Springtrap at Cam 1. There's only one big problem here, and that's Mangle. Over the course of the entire night, always pay attention to the sticky note on the window. If it shows the puppet camera or Springtraps, flip up and down to change your location. And that's basically it. After pushing back Springtrap, go back to the office and repeat the cycle. Though actually there is one more issue. Power. Power in this is insanely tight. Mostly because you're always using the light and cams, but also because of Foxy. Foxy on 20 AI attacks pretty much every minute, with each attack taking more and more power until it caps out at 5%. If you keep playing without doing anything about him, you'll eventually power out no matter what you do. So we're gonna add another task for our cam cycle. After pushing back Springtrap, leave your camera on Pirate's Cove. The reason why this works is because while you're in cams, Foxy progresses stages twice as slow, and while you're looking at him, he freezes in place. The thing is, if you're on his cam but with the camera flipped down, it acts as if you were in cams but not looking at him, which slows him down twice as much. This will make him attack about every 2 minutes instead of 1, saving us enough power to beat this challenge without any battery packs. Now for full game fiends. In my opinion, this preset is easier if you don't use power-ups. What this challenge teaches you is how to avoid the Dreadbear Twisted Wolf Blood Trap combo, and how to keep Funtime Foxy at bay. For this night, you don't need to play Fred Sweeper at all. Start by finding all Biddy Babs and then trapping Lefty. If you're wondering how to know when Lefty's in trapping range, you can use Nightmare Yawn's spawn to do that. When you hear this, Lefty's 90% of the time within trapping range. If not, just wait in the vent cam until they move in there. After that, go back to the office and deal with the Dread Wolf Trap combo, I'll call it that. When you flip down the camera and all 3 of them are there, always get rid of them in this order. Twisted Wolf, Plush Trap, Dreadbear. Remember, Plush Trap will always be on the right side if Twisted Wolf is active. After that, stay in the office staring straight so you don't accidentally get killed by Nightmare Yawn, and only flip up the camera if Scrap Baby is taking power or Funtime Freddy spawn. Throughout all 6 minutes, you'll be paying extra attention to the nighttime, as you want to close the right door just before every 15-second interval. Don't forget to always keep temperature below 5 bars, and you should be able to complete the second level of the Big 3.
The big kid section of the restaurant. And I thought it was interesting.
Oh, that was super easy.
The music is
that Nightmare
so
Baby
cool.
was, that was clutch. And now for the final preset in the game, a bit of everything. As of recording this, I haven't beaten it with no powers myself. There is just a lot to keep track of here. The main threats of the night are Funtime Foxy, Funtime Freddy, Pop Ghost, Springtrap, Wither Freddy, and Endo. Honestly, the hardest thing about this night is the fact everyone's at 5 AI. Characters like Lefty, Springtrap, and Wither Freddy become way more unpredictable because they're so much slower. For Lefty, the best strat I found is to trap him at about 1 minute to 110. As for Springtrap, you can actually use Puppet's Warning just like in Demo Demons. The annoying ones are Wither Freddy, Funtime Foxy, and Pop Ghost. Because of the low AI, they don't attack that often, but when they're ready to kill, they'll do it within seconds. For Funtime Foxy, we'll check Cam 2 and take note of the showtime. Pop Ghost is a bit rough. He only attacks once in a blue moon, so you have to always be paying close attention for his sound cue. Now, there are a lot of other sounds playing throughout the night, so whenever you go for Springtrap, look if he's there or not. And that's about all. Just be careful of Candy, cause since he's at 5 AI, his timer won't coincide with the 10-second interval. But remember that the ticking always begins when there's 10 seconds left until he appears, so keep that in mind. By completing this challenge, you'll not only get the Platinum Star Trophy, but also the 4th Forbidden Trophy, NPU, which stands for No Power-Ups. With that, I've covered just about 99% of the game. All endings, all presets, all that's left is the 47th and final trophy of FRICKBEARS 3, Inferno 47. To get this trophy, you have to complete the hardest challenge of this game, 4720. But before that, let's go over the base max mode 4020, also known as the FRICKBEAR 40. I didn't pull this name out of my ass, by the way. After you beat 4020, you were supposed to unlock a preset called the FRICKBEAR 40, but I guess the devs messed up when coding that unlock. Now, I haven't even done a bit of everything with no power-ups, so I have absolutely zero clue how you do this. However, I know someone that not only does, but also beat this monstrosity of a challenge. Take it away.
Crazy.
Here comes a new challenger.
Hey, I'm PM Cirque, or just Cirque, and I do videos on FNAF Max modes, like Luffuu and all of those people. You probably know me from being the verifier of the FRICKBEAR 40 and Infernal 47 No Death Coin, which are some of my best achievements alongside other Max modes I've done. Luffuu has been very generous and has let me explain all of the Max modes in this game.
As a
for you
guy
guys,
for
which
everything.
I honestly
He
can't
knows
be
a
more
guy.
grateful for. I'll be going
Who
over
knows a
the
guy, I
4
guess.
main Max modes
I guess he
total,
just knows
which
guys.
Those being the FRICKBEAR 40, Infernal 47, and then their No Death Coin variants, which will kind of come under the same umbrella. All of these modes are extremely chaotic and relatively RNG, with their dreadful combos of characters at times, but I'll be explaining the main strategy of how I did the max modes, as well as sharing some other strategies that people have found while playing. Lots of thanks to Beanboy and Karsan, as those two helped a lot with making a guide of sorts, which Luffuu will link to. Before I do start, however, small disclaimer that if you want to be able to submit your completion to the MML or AML, then you won't be able to pause scum constantly while dealing with characters where you need to be fast in the cameras or office, and especially while playing Minesweeper, as it obviously gives an unfair advantage and doesn't give you the real experience, if you know what I mean. Aside from that, enjoy! So, for 4020, the night can basically be split up into 3 sections. You have the Bidybab collection section, the survival section, and then the minigame section. At the start of the night, you will check which camera Mango is on, and then choose a character from Loltax. Personally, I would say your best bet for an extra character to choose from would be Rodney or Candy, if you want to have not too much of an addition to the night. If you are a bit more confident, then you can probably go for Animdude or Coffee, since they are doable but do require more skill. Mainly, just avoid Sparky and Popgoes, since they are both extremely cancerous and not a good choice at all. After picking your character, you'll go onto cams and then find Bidybabs on all of the cameras, making sure not to click on the camera Mango is on. You can use the flashlight while collecting Bidybabs to deal with phantoms, but be careful if Endo appears, since they kill with any use of the flashlight. Trust me, no one likes their mechanic. After you collect all the Bidybabs that aren't on Mango's camera, between the 15 and 20 second mark, go trap Lefty in a corner. You can flip between dealing with Bidybabs to deal with RWQ or someone in the office, but try to get as many Bidybabs as you can before you do have to flip down. You'll get much better with practice over time. Now, the second section of the night is mainly just surviving all of the enemies that come for you. Major points for this section are mainly paying attention to Mango's camera, and then only flipping when necessary, such as dealing with Scrap Baby or Puppet or Funtime Freddy. When Scrap Baby spawns for the first time, you have around 30 tokens, which you should use to buy a golden cupcake immediately and save for later.
Well,
At
that's
around
so
the 50
cute.
second mark, you will close the left door and keep it shut for the whole night. This stops Springtrap and also keeps your mind off of a few things that come from the left side. Other things needed to pay attention to are closing doors on Funtime Foxy every 15-second interval, and paying attention to if Funtime Freddy does or does not have Bonbon. Even if he is obscured by Springtrap on the left side, look at his eyes. If he has Bonbon, he will look at him, and if he doesn't, then he will look at the camera, so pay attention. This section will end at around the 2 AM mark. Here you will sell your golden cupcake, and you should have 100 tokens. Then you'll buy the Death Coin first to Death Coin Lolbit, as sad as it is.
Aww.
Buy the Death Coin first to Death Coin Lolbit, as sad as it is. Which will then bump all of the shop prices down, and in turn allow you to buy the laser doors and AR mask.
The goat
From
is
here,
dead.
you can either choose to play Thread Sweeper or Cupcake Clicker. When you have enough, I would say to buy 2 batteries to have a secure amount of power, and then after that, buy another set of laser doors and AR masks to activate at 3 AM, so you can keep farming tokens. In total, you roughly only need to beat about 2 Minesweepers, but if you want to keep going for style points, then go ahead. But once you're at 4 AM, you should have enough to buy 2 time skips for 70 tokens and end the night. Congrats! Infernal 47 isn't too different, honestly. It has the same rough strategy, and just makes you need to pay much more attention to Mango, and also being extremely aware of when Popgoes and Sparky attack, as well as being more skillful with Coffee and Anim Dude, which will be a given as you make progress on the mode. My main piece of advice would be to check Pop goes after every Sparky attack, so you can hopefully see when he will attack and what camera. Also, make sure that you buy Chipper's Lumber before buying the time skips, as Chipper will kill at 5:59 if you don't. Okay, so, now we get onto the no death coin variants of these modes. For simplicity, I'm just going to talk about Infernal 47 no death coin, as it is really straightforward to apply it to 4020 no death coin. Realistically, this is the best strategy for every max mode here, so you can apply some parts of it to the variants with death coin, just to put it out there. Instead of starting with collecting Biddy Babs at the start of the night, you will start by playing Minesweeper. You'll finish 2 games of Minesweeper, buy a golden cupcake, and then trap Lefty in a corner before flipping down at all. After this, you'll basically just have to survive again while dealing with all of the threats and minigames, the same as regular Infernal 47. I would say that once you have enough to buy a laser door and AR mask, you should buy them but not use them until around 150 or after, as it is good to activate them before 2 AM. After this, it's literally just the same where you keep playing minigames until you can afford 2 time skips. You'll have to do a minimum of 2 Minesweepers in this 2 to 4 AM section if you want to have enough, as well as some Cupcake Clicker on top of it. I did 5 Minesweepers total for the night, but Bean Boy did 4 sweepers alongside Cupcake Clicker, so it's whatever you're more comfortable doing. Just make sure you have bought the time skips a bit before 4 AM rolls around, otherwise you won't be able to execute the strategy for the end of the night. Now, because we haven't dealt with Baby, she would normally kill us at 5:59. However, we can use an exploit where a current jump scare overwrites any other jump scare from happening and letting us win the night. Easiest way to execute this, in my opinion, is to reset the puppet's music box at 3:29, as you don't need to put any more thought into the end of the night and just let the puppet kill you, allowing you to skip any 6 AM killer and then winning the night with a jump scare win. If you weren't able to time the puppet jump scare correctly, then at the end of the night you should try getting jump scared by Mango, as that's probably your second best option because of the short kill timer. As long as you die at 5:59 to someone, you'll be okay and beat Infernal 47 no death coin.
Hell yeah.
I hope that my explanation has been understandable, and I hope you guys enjoyed listening. There are a
I
few
did.
things I didn't dabble on, such as using the camera keybinds to move around the cams, but all in all, I think that's a good basis to start with. Thanks again to Luffuu for letting me explain the max modes in this video,
Aw.
and maybe we'll get some new victors for the max modes because of this.
That'd be
And
rad.
with that, we've reached the end of the ultimate Five Nights at FRICKBEARS 3
Holy
guide.
cow.
Wow, this was a long one. Before I end the video, I want to shout out everybody that helped with the making of this guide. Spooky Rick, aka the developer of the game, for helping me with some more obscure details about the game.
3 hours
for
and
his amazing
15
explanation
minutes
of the max modes. Tomato25 for appearing
of
out
the
nowhere,
stream, not the
but with
video.
really good information. And myself, because I spent
Aw.
countless hours looking through the code trying to figure this shit out. That was hard, man. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. This was easily the hardest guide for me to make. There's just so much content
Hey, it's me.
in this game, it's insane. But the game is so good, it deserved a full-fledged guide.
That's crazy to see my own channel up on here. How many views does this have now? 12,000 people saw this. That's just crazy to think about.
Insane. But the game is so good, it deserved a full-fledged guide.
It really
I
is
honestly
cool to be a part of
really
something
wasn't
like
expecting
this.
to make a guide longer than the Obletus Casa one, but here we are. Also, unfortunately, this video is not going to be the ultimate FRICKBEARS 3 guide for too long. I know, I'm sorry. But basically, there's a new update coming out eventually, and maybe when I post this video, it's already going to be out. This update plans to add so many things: animatronics, new gameplay mechanics. Honestly, I don't even know that much myself. I'm very excited to play it. If this video does
That's
well,
sick.
maybe I'll come back for a part 2 covering the new update. But hey, for that to happen, don't forget to like and subscribe. Join
Oh,
the
yeah.
Discord if you'd like as well.
I think I've
Thank you
already
all
done
so
all
much
3.
for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Like,
Bye-bye.
subscribe. I'm in the Discord server. That's so sick. Here, I'll end this out. That was so cool. I did actually look at some of the comments when the video like first got posted. Like, isn't it romantic how none of us have finished the video yet? Because it literally got posted and they commented this right away, so obviously no one had finished. But yeah, I was sick. I got a reply from the Luffuu himself. The comments are no longer duplicated, which is cool. The Bones 5 is here as well. This is the Tomato 25. Let's check him out. I'll subscribe because is this Friedrichs playtime with Percy, which eventually I want to make a video about so bad. It's such a cool game. I just haven't really had the skill to do it. But like I could do this. I could do this. These two are gonna be a bit harder, but I think with practice I could definitely do it. The Bones 5 knows you exist. Now no, he left that comment before mine. Oh well no, because he would have seen the video, I guess. Oops. But yeah, that was a really cool video. 8! I guess I wasn't really like refreshing. But that's so cool. It's me. 76 subscribers. Joined 9 years ago. What was that, 2017? I would have thought it was longer than that. I don't know. But yeah, that was that video. Thank you, Luffuu, for letting me react to this. It was actually so much fun to be a part of this and to it was fun to be able to just like be a part of this video in a way that like is like unique to me, you know, because oh god, my camera's slightly out of focus. There we go. It's like one thing to explain a max mode. You know, I've done it several times on my channel, but it's another thing to be a part of a video like that, but like including your own art form. And in this case, it was voice acting, and that's something that I love to do. I haven't done it that much, but it's something that I would love to do more of in the future. As like a theater person, I've been in a lot of musicals and other shows, and that's just like that's my passion. And so voice acting is kind of the same category as that. And so it's just so cool to be able to sorry, I know my camera's over here, but I'm looking at myself on my other monitor. It's just so cool to be able to do something like that. And for someone who I actually watch, that's even cooler, you know. And just obviously I didn't contribute as much as like Tomato 25 or Cirque, you know, those guys are insane. But like I'm so glad to have contributed what I did because you know, it's just it's a part of the video. Somebody needed to do it, so I'm glad that I was able to help out with that. So, yeah, it was such a cool opportunity and it definitely gave me the chance to learn more about this game. God, this aspect ratio frustrates me so bad. It's just, I don't know why it's stuck as a square. Because it's literally there we go. It's literally only a problem in OBS. Wait. Warning. Okay, I was just wondering if I went back to OBS. Here's you. If I went back to OBS, would it be in the weird, in the new aspect ratio? But no. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, for watching this stream, for watching that video with me. It has been difficult, I'll admit, to keep this secret from everyone that I'm gonna be in the next Luffuu video, but I can finally share that now. So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. It's been 3 hours, and I'm low-key tired, so I'm gonna head out. But you did an absolutely incredible job voice acting. I'm super excited to see what else you may do in the future. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's like it's something I want to do more, you know? It's hard because it's something that a lot of people have easier access to because they can just record something on their microphone and they don't have to go in person or anything, so it's easier, and that's definitely a good thing overall because it's made the industry a lot more successful. But it definitely makes it harder for an individual who's trying to. But that's not to say that it's a bad thing because more people are getting the opportunity to voice act, which is wonderful, even if it's not me. But yeah, it just there's so many opportunities to do it, and I really hope that I get to do it more often. I have auditioned for stuff, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thanks for